Hey, Peter, how are you doing? Is your mic on?
I don't know, is it?
Ah, there we go. Awesome. Got voice. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
Good. Good. Did you sleep good?
Yeah, not too shabby. What about you?
Yeah.
Good.
Now I know there's a lot of work to do, so
Hey, Keith, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing this morning?
Doing all right, man. What about yourself?
Oh, just trying to get some stuff done, you know?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Are we the only ones on so far?
So far, so good. So it's the three amigos at this point. That's great.
Can I ask the first question?
Go ahead.
All right.
good.
All right. Oh, he's eating breakfast. Okay.
I know. I'm looking at Peter. I'm like, hey, man, what are you eating? Because it looks like cornflakes.
It's mushy raisin bran because it's the only way I like it.
Wow.
I sit for about 20 minutes to get mushy.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
My wife is it smells like cooking eggs and toast, and but it's 10:30 here, so I don't know.
I'm coming over to your house. I don't know where you live, but I'm coming over for some of that eggs and toast.
I'm Illinois, man.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'll ask the first question. I had posed this before, but I want to be able to mass produce a number of videos using like a folder of intros and a folder of outros, and then my main video, and then name them all separate names. And I have Project X, and I used it, but only for doing the overlays and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for the software that's going to give me that ability to make 30, 40, 50 videos that have different intros, different outros, but the main video is always the same. And
So you're wanting more of so Project X, that creates your branded videos, your branded thumbnails.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to have Project X be able to create outros and intros, or?
No, I'm a videos subscriber, and I've made a massive number of intros that are branded, and I've only got really one outro, but I mean I can make a lot more.
Okay.
But I'm trying to make these professional looking videos that, and then I'm doing all the optimization. I go in and I go into all of the oh hell, all the details, on the video.
Yeah.
Go back to my video thing here. All the properties, all the video properties, and I optimize all of that. I mean, with with the titles and the tags, I have a whole list of tags. Like I'll have like 30 tags I'll paste in there, and then I put my name and all the attributes and stuff like that. And then I do the same thing with the thumbnails. One thing I like about Project X is that it makes all those thumbnails, but and again, then I want to be able to mass upload those through either LSG or do them manually. I mean, I've probably got 50 YouTube channels that I've created on my own. I have not bought any YouTube channels. I've done everything myself.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, I can see where this is going, and with LSG Pro, we're actually working on. I was wanting to have this in the beginning, but unfortunately, things got the way they were. So we are working to put in the ability to put intros in and outro videos as well, in multiple ones. So you could have multiple intro, outro that you've created randomly or however you want. For the Project X, actually, you made me think of something. You were saying that with the video files, you add your content in, right? You put your meta tags into your video files, and then you live stream them? Is that what you're doing? You're putting your attributes
Yes.
in?
Yeah, I actually open up the video file and click on properties, right button properties, and I literally go in and optimize every one of those. I've had really good luck, optimizing the thumbnails, and actually the thumbnails rank in Google Images all the frickin' time,
Yeah.
And same way with the videos.
I hate to tell you this. I really do hate to tell you this because you do so much work. But when you live stream a video, it wipes out all of the meta tag. It wipes out everything that you do when you go click on properties and you add all that custom stuff.
Yeah, I understand that about live stream. When you live stream, I know that.
Okay.
But on regular videos that I upload, I go to that trouble,
it's well worth it. It is well worth it because
for money videos, or what I would call my money videos, that's what the extent I go to, and so what I've done with some of the other videos I live streamed, they're just a stripped down version of the main video that I'm doing. It's got the the fancy intros and outros and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's good. That's awesome. I mean, that is a great way to do it. I wish live streaming did not strip that stuff out because it drives me crazy. There's so much opportunity to continue to rank and bank and rank and bank, and it's too bad that they strip all that out. Peter, how was your raisin? How was your man? Oh, sorry, wrong Peter. My bad. We have two Peters in here. We have Peter Coyle and sorry. Oh, we just lost him. We lose him? Nope, we got him. So Peter Coyle and Peter Ball, right?
Yep.
Hey, welcome. And I see Brian back there hiding out. That's great. Yeah, I really do wish that wasn't taken out, but yes, for LSG Pro in the future, we will have that ability coming out. We have some really sick updates that we're planning on bringing in. We've kind of got to the idea of trying to create a ability, kind of like with video spinners, where you put together the images and it creates your video, and then you can live stream it or whatever. We're kind of thinking about going that route as well, actually creating the software where you can put together your own videos, put it in, and live stream it. Same thing with the Project X. Project X 2.0 will allow you to add overlays to your videos and also to do more custom edits with your videos in the future, which hopefully will be coming out pretty soon. Everybody still there? Am I talking to myself?
I got you, Michael.
I got you.
Okay, good, because Keith is frozen on my screen. His beautiful bar mustache is frozen solid on my screen. I'm like, okay, I must be frozen. Thought I'd lost everybody. So does anybody else have any questions or anything you want to talk about?
I got a question. It's Peter Ball.
Hey, Peter.
When I add a property to Search Console, is there a preferred method? They recommend creating a text record in Namecheap, or can I just use Google Analytics to do that? Does it matter?
You mean to track your websites?
Yeah.
Google Analytics is fine. In Namecheap, you're talking about adding in the custom DNS, right?
Well, in Google Webmaster Tools, they say the preferred method to create that verification is to create a text record in Namecheap.
Oh, yes. You know what? Actually, I use the HTML tag. And that's what I use. I use HTML tag, and I grab that code, I pop it into the header on, you're talking about Domination Robot here, right?
Yeah.
Drop it right into that header file, save it, I verify it, and boom, I'm taken care of.
Okay, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, that one works good for me. Yeah, how's your Domination Robot sites going?
I've created about 6 sites. I've got almost 1 million pages, but I've only got about 10,000 indexed at this point.
Okay.
That's why I'm thinking I need to add them to Webmaster Tools.
Yeah, you definitely will get a lot more of that. What I do is I add them to the Webmaster Tools, And
Yeah.
then I grab that sitemap URL, sometimes the main one, and I'll manually force index that as well in Google.
Okay.
And then what I do is in the webmaster tools, I go to, what do you call it? Not the crawl. It may be under the crawl. I submit it to the index. Anyways, I submit the main URL to the index.
Right.
I'm following the sitemaps, and I've had some good results. Like in 1 week, I had 300,000 pages for one site get indexed within 3 days, 4 days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so you can index them pretty quickly. And that site is getting massive traffic.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, when I say massive traffic, I'm not talking about massive traffic.
Yeah.
But it is building. It is nice to see it building every day, going up, which is awesome.
Yeah. The other thing I need to play around with is that first paragraph in the spun text to try and get a site or a page description that makes sense, because right now it's just returning, the nonsense on DR.
Yeah, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I no longer use DR's content creator. I know Tim would kill me for saying this, and Nick would wring my neck as well. But I no longer use their content creator for my content.
Yeah, there was an interesting post.
New York. Ever wonder what it was like?
Whom showing how he put spun content in the first paragraph, even using the DR content, and he was getting good descriptions on the site.
Yeah, there is a way that you could take, say, from an e-zine article, so you could look up in Google e-zine article for your topic, grab that content, drop it in, spin it for your first, paragraph, and then use Domination Robot below it. That's what I used to do with that, and that would definitely work as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to give Article Forge a try. See how it does.
It really, and I just can't say enough good things about it. I absolutely love it. I really do. I use it every day. In fact, I've got it down to where I can build a website from start to finish, from Namecheap. Well, once it's added in, DNS is set up. But once you get that set up, I build a website in 15 minutes, and that's including my keyword research. That's a 300,000 page website, and I build it out within 15 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Because for me, it's if it's let's see here. It looks like we're starting to get some audio feedback. So if you're not talking, could you mute yourself? That would be awesome, if you don't mind. So, yeah, it will definitely help out, and it goes fast. Because the way I'm looking at this is I don't want to waste my time on these website build-outs when I can build them out streamlined, and get them out quickly, and get them indexed, and get them rocking. Because if it's not producing, if you're not getting, say you get all your links indexed, and you're not getting traffic within 2 weeks, or 3 weeks at the most, I'd say trash the website.
Okay.
Either that or rebuild it, because you're wasting time, you're wasting money. If you're just not seeing traffic, you want to dump it. I dumped 150 links about 3 weeks ago. 150 websites, are just completely deleted them. It was from one niche. I was doing shoes. Believe it or not, it was like, expensive shoes. I wanted to go after an expensive shoe niche to do a demo, and it just sorry, had some feedback on there. Anyways, it just was not producing. I wasn't getting indexed. I wasn't getting links. I wasn't getting traffic. I was like, forget it. It's not worth it.
Right. Makes sense.
So that's what I say is command and conquer. Build and reap the rewards. And if it's not working, cut it off. Replant the tree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing I do for you Domination Robot guys out there, I'll share a little tidbit that I do every single day, is I look at the news. Preferably, I check out Kickstarter, but I look at the news, I see what products are really pumping it, and I read the news, and if there's a product that's just come out, like for example, Google just released their own AI to counter, Echo, Amazon Echo. So Google's coming out with their own AI pretty soon. And I know that Zuckerberg from Facebook was also working on his own AI. And I was kind of waiting on that. I was thinking about that. I thought, okay, Facebook AI, this is going to be pretty awesome. Now Google released it. It's coming out before Zuckerberg gets his AI out. So that means there's going to be a pumping product coming out pretty soon. And imagine being able to take that and rock it out. You know, and that's what you can do with it. You can totally rock it out. So as soon as you find a product like that, some product that you think that you can sell, hey, Frank, is that you, Frank? Frank is under, for some reason, Frank, you came under the name Nancy. So I saw Nancy pop in here, Nancy Landa, and then I saw your face appear, and I'm like, what the heck?
Really? Oh, that's
fun. Yeah, it says Nancy wherever you talk. That's hilarious.
Here, let me. Oh, that's kind of weird. I'll leave it like it is. That's fine.
Oh, you're fine. That's all right. I can talk to you with Nancy on your name. That's okay. Yeah. So you know, think of products that you can grab out there and build on. Same thing with videos. Take this to the next level. Look for these new products. There is an awesome product that just came out on Kickstarter. Now I was looking for a website. I couldn't find a website for them. It goes back to Kickstarter, but in like 30 days, their goal is $100,000. They've hit $1.2 million so far, and their goal, you know, they've got another week. And the thing is, it's an earphone, Bluetooth, not Bluetooth. It's an earphone set. So it goes inner ear, outer ear, and apparently tunes to your eardrum. It says that every eardrum is completely unique, like a fingerprint, right? And imagine that. Now that is going to be a kickin' hot product. You know, it sells for $179 starting out, you know, for the headset. Imagine building out, you know, 5 websites for that, 300,000 pages. You know, think of all the different things you can do. People are going to be looking for that. Think of Pokemon Go. I actually looked into that, doing some websites for that, but I couldn't really find the way to really monetize it, at least in the beginning. You know, it was just out. There wasn't really a paid game type of thing for the Pokemon Go. But think of these trends, and that's where you can monetize. That's where you can really monetize it. I remember watching a video course about a year ago, and this guy was teaching how he makes really good money with Amazon with video. Now, what he would do is he would go after high-grade stuff like expensive rings, you know, special rings that people were selling up on Amazon, companies that were selling like $5,000. And he would make these videos. He'd put links into videos, links into the description, and say buy right here, and people would buy it. And he was knocking it dead with expensive jewelry. You know, so where there's a will, there's a way. And it doesn't matter if it's a domination robot or video marketing, you can absolutely kill it.
Yeah, Mike, you got a good point there, because that's something I've observed too. There's an axiom I have. It's called Tufts, and what it talks about is find out what they want and give it to them. And there is really a market for very niche. And also, another thing too is don't try to hit a home run. Baseball games are won with base hits, not with home runs. A home run is a bonus. You know, when Livestream Genius came out, in the beginning it was base hit, and then we kind of started hitting home runs with it. But it came, you know, the whole thing came out of our own need and our own inspiration. You know, Project X came out of our own need and our own inspiration, and inspiration to you guys too, which is awesome. So we listen to what you guys are saying as well. And we're thrilled that we're able to build things that you guys want and that we want and that are useful. But we never try. You know, one thing in the beginning, and Michael, I'll be willing to testify this. You know, you want to hit this home run. You think you're not successful unless you hit a home run. It's not the truth. You know, Babe Ruth, who's a home run king of baseball in the 20th century, he had less than 5% of his hits at bat were home runs, and he was very high. And so, you know, concentrate on the base hits. You know, Michael and I will tell you that we don't make all our money in our business from Livestream Genius, or we don't make it from clients, or we don't make it from consulting, or we don't make it from tutorials. We make it from everything. You know, I still have clients that I take care of, and they're probably about half of my revenue, and we've been decreasing because our business on this side has been taking so much more time. But, you know, we replace one base hit with another base hit, and I love doing this, so it's great. And that's the important thing too. You got to make sure whatever you're doing, you got to love it. You know, don't put up websites. You know, Michael, you were talking about Pokemon. If you hate games, don't do a game website. You know, if you love it, then do it, because then your love and inspiration will gurgle out, and that will be the base hit on that site. Look for things that you can do that are base hits, things you can enjoy. Explore everything. I know a fellow whom loved model railway. He was in his 60s, so he started doing a website on model railway and, you know, the classic railway trains and that, and it became a huge success. I don't know what his figures were like when it came to monetization, but all he did was I think he put Google AdSense on the site, but he just talked about his hobby, and he came to me and said, I really like to make the site look nicer and that, and you know, it looks kind of koochy, doesn't look that great. I just kind of threw it together, and I'm getting stuck in some areas, and I want to move it to WordPress. And I looked at the site. It was ugly. It was but ugly. But he was talking about his passion. Michael, it was terribly ugly. But he was talking about his passion, and he had over 100,000 visitors a month. So it comes back to find things that you're passionate about. We all have things that we're really excited about. Like, I am excited about solar energy. I'm excited about, I do lots of research on molecular theory and stuff like that. That's kind of what I like researching. It's my toilet reading time. You know what I mean? That sort of stuff. Guys, I know we all have that. So, but yeah, you do too. And but talk about it. Find ways to build sites. And using the cool thing with Domination Robot is you can build a whole bunch of pages really fast to kind of get the site going, and then you can start. Michael, can you add your own done pages in Domination Robot or no? I actually don't.
What?
Now, can you add your own content in?
Yes, absolutely.
So there you go. So you can leave your own content. One thing I've been looking at is as we've been getting more and more people involved with Livestream Genius in that, it takes a little more thinking, a little more creativity to rank on trades keywords, because a lot of people have been jumping in. And I think it's because I tell people what I do, so that everybody's doing the same thing as me. So it makes the competition a little stiffer. And I've been experimenting with modifying things and doing things slightly different. But the cool thing is, with the automation tools that we have, we can become very specific and very general at the same time. We can be very specific with videos or with pages or with whatever it is, and then have a lot of them. So we become very general at the same time. And I'm finding that's working. I'm getting page 1 rankings all over the board by being very specific with video, for example. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Thanks, Nancy. Freak.
Are we answering any specific questions here, Michael?
You know what? Just doing kind of an open hangout. I told them no pitch fest. Just if they have a question about something, even fishing, because I'm an avid fisherman. Who hasn't fished in 4 years, but I still avidly fish. I might even get a pole and just do it over top of my desktop here. Might even work for me. So yeah, just kind of a get together, mind melding LSG event, Frank.
Yeah, that's awesome. Guys, if you want to chime in, feel free. Is there things that you've been wondering? Is there things that you've been struggling with or had success with? Like, you don't have to tell us specifics, and I don't want you to do that. But like in an area that you've been working away at, and sometimes it's the little things that get us. Okay, for example, I've been working. We have a whole bunch of relatives coming here because my son's getting married in a week, and the upstairs bathroom has been half done for about a month. And I got stuck because I need to get a piece of trim. And there was no reason for me to be stuck, but in my mind it became stuck. I couldn't get the bathroom done. So yesterday we went out and got the trim. And all of a sudden we've just launched way ahead. So there's times that you just gotta, unstick yourself and find a way to keep things moving forward. Another thing too I've been learning is the fact that plan to do a little bit every day. You know, Michael and I will both testify to the fact that, again, it's that whole base hit thing. Every day we try to hit base hit. And a base hit could be we got 5 more videos ready for our store. Another base hit could be I did an update on LSG. Another base hit could be building another site. Another base hit could be just servicing a customer. But I make sure every day that I try to move things that are continuously creating revenue forward, you know, and that is a very powerful motivation. It's almost like the little engine that could, you know, as long as you keep putting horsepower behind it, you're getting somewhere, you know. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's a waltz. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But you just keep doing it.
Yeah, Frank, can I interrupt you here real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Keith actually has a question for you. He asked this before you came in, and it was a great suggestion for Project X LSG Pro. But before I send over to Keith here, had a question from before that, Tad Stevens on ClickBank. How to handle click. Now, Tad, quick question on this. Keith, we'll get to you in just a second. Sorry, I missed Tad's chat here. So, Tad, with this, with ClickBank, are you talking about doing Domination Robot with it or with video?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, just really got started with Domination Robot, threw up some Amazon sites, and want to get into ClickBank. And what I'm looking at is take like, I don't know, the 3 top weight loss products, and then pick 5 or 6 keywords that you can do and multiply times the location, so you get up to the max of about 300 pages. But my thought is if I'm in a location and I'm looking for weight loss, can I get a page in front of somebody that has one of those top 3 products in it? Or maybe a combination of those top 3 products in an overlay, so that somebody in, say, small city outside of Atlanta sees it. Not that, because I'm thinking that, using their keyword tool, that sounds like a really great idea, but how do I know somebody in a small city outside of Atlanta is searching for the keyword it happens to assign to that page? So I'm just wondering if anybody else is doing ClickBank. If you are, how are you doing it? Are you trying to just use like a short number of keywords like I was talking about, or using their keyword tool, or what?
That's an excellent question. One of the things that I do, and the max that I use are 8 keywords per site now. I'm very specific on that. So I want to build out a page for every single major keyword that I'm targeting. So I do a lot of keyword research, at least for me. So I use a keyword tool, not the Domination Robot keyword tool, God bless them, but it just brings up a smorgasbord of all sorts of stuff, And I remember with and this was actually with the Domination Robot built-in content creator. I had a children's clothing, designer clothing niche that I did, and I just wanted to test it out and see how it did. And I created this website, and I looked at the content, and it had, I kid you not, penis enlargement, Viagra, all this content in there. It was pulling in all sorts of crap for children's clothing. I went, oh my God, I'm going to be arrested, type of thing. So I'm really careful with my keywords. I'm really careful with my content. So whenever I'm building out these sites, because I want specific keywords to be found in every single location, I pick 8 keywords after I do all my research. I look at all the Google Trends for that keyword. I make sure that the trend is going up, because obviously we don't want a trend going down. So I look at Google Trends. I make sure that that keyword's going up, that searches are going up for it, that's a relevant keyword, and then I target it. So I target 8 keywords for 300,000 pages in all those locations, and out it goes, and it creates all that stuff. And that's really what I would recommend doing. Now, as far as the overlay, what you could do is you could create a custom overlay where you can have all 3 products if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. That's what I was thinking about.
Exactly. So I would create like a custom WordPress website. Put your page in there, like a templated page. You could put all 3 products in there, or you could use something like, oh gosh, Tim was sharing this with me just the other day. Frank, do you have that link for that e-commerce thing? I don't know if that did ClickBank. or
Well,
not.
what about, has anybody ever thought about using a CB engine? I mean, if you want to go crazy with it, that thing would pull in almost everything with ClickBank.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect idea. That's a perfect idea. You could use something just like that, and you send them to that direct page, and even if they're looking for, say, weight loss, and they come upon a page with all three products on it, they may buy one or three or all three of those products.
Yeah.
You never know where someone's going to buy. So that's a great thing. Like, for example, Frank will laugh about this because I laughed so hard I cried, and I'm not joking. I laugh a lot, and sometimes I'll really rip it open, and I'll just, like, bawl my eyes out because I'm laughing so hard, right? In pure hysterics. So this week I set up a new website on Domination Robot for Amazon, and I got 4 sales one night off of this one website link, and I went, oh, yes! All right!
You're not going to tell them this.
Here it comes, Frank, here it comes! Okay, so I'm all excited. I roll over to Amazon, and I'm like, yes! All right, what have I got? I see this long link, so I click the link. I have like a 36-inch HD monitor. All right, this product pulls up, and my face turns about 8 shades red because it is in HD, black, ultra thin, diamond-studded thongs. Okay, that wasn't the product that I was advertising on Amazon, but someone clicked the link, and this lady decided to treat herself to these beautiful diamond-studded thongs, and so I'm, oh my God, trying to click off the button, looking at it. So I was joking around. I was telling Holly this, Holly Cooper. So we were laughing about this, and I shared it with her, and she was like, "Oh, Mike," she was like, "I'm gonna be your wingman, and we're gonna go out. I'm gonna get you a bunch of ladies until you stop blushing," So it was really funny. We were cracking up about it. So that's the nice thing about using the Amazon is you never know what people are going to buy because you have a 24-hour cookie. Within 24 hours you can get whatever sell is up there. ClickBank, I don't know if that works with that, does it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. The cookies, you can cookie a product. I can't remember what the length of time is on ClickBank. I used to do lots of ClickBank advertising. Chad, I'll give you some advice on the ClickBank. You can do really good. Make sure that that when you're doing your keywords, when you mention weight loss, you're in a pretty hefty niche, and you're going to have a lot of uphill. So try to find the niche in the niche. For example, I'm trying to think here because weight loss is on my mind because I'm trying to lose weight right now too.
Me too.
Yeah,
that's why I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, so look at what catches your eye. Weight Watchers could be, like I'm doing Weight Watchers and it's working, and I'm learning things about Weight Watchers. So keywords could be Weight Watchers instead of weight loss. Keywords could be counting points instead of weight loss. And you'd be amazed at how few people go after these secondary keywords and hunt with the keywords within the keywords. And second, when you're advertising ClickBank products, look for good products that have good landing pages. I mean, good-looking landing pages. You're going to discover a lot of ClickBank products. They might be the best product or the most authoritative product in that particular niche, but man, the landing pages are ugly. Like I found that when I advertise products, even if they were good, if the sales page was terribly ugly, and it just didn't flow for me, then I wouldn't advertise it because I knew that it wouldn't sell. People still buy the bow.
Yeah. One last question: is anybody using in DR? Is anybody using the ClickBank sales page as the custom overlay link? I heard a few people had posted that they were going to do that. I just hadn't heard the results of anybody doing that.
Not personally, no. I've not done that.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Good question. So I see some questions coming in over here on the chat again.
You want to hit Keith's question so it doesn't get forgotten?
Yes. Sorry, Keith. Thank you, Frank. Nancy, Frank. So, Keith, could you unmute yourself and ask Frank that question, please? Did we just lose him? He just disappeared. I'm thinking he may have accidentally deleted himself out of here.
No, wait for him to come back. Okay, go ahead and answer another question until he comes back.
Okay, perfect. So Michael Williams was asking, do I drop these out or do I drip them? You know what? I wish there was a way to really drip them out. I know that, you know, it does drip them out once you create the pages. It'll drip out, at least for indexing. It'll index them on a drip campaign. So you can create a 300,000 page website, but it won't be indexed immediately. It will take a while to drip index it. So that's another way you could do this. For me, I'm crazy. I don't recommend everybody follow me on the way I do Domination Robot because I'm the type of guy that if I go into a fight, I'm going in with a bazooka. I'm not going in with a pistol. You know, I'm going in there to blow the living daylights out of whatever I come across because that's how I find my litmus test. That's how I test to see what my limits are, what I can do, what I can't do. I built an absolute massive website with Domination Robot. I wasn't supposed to, mind you. I've talked to Nick about this and whatnot, but he's actually using me as a case study right now for this website that I built. I was talking to him about it yesterday, and he was really surprised by the number of pages I've gotten indexed so far and the traffic that's shooting up for this website. So, you know, I have some crazy methods on that, but you can build out the 300,000 page and just let, you know, Domination Robot drip feed it out for the indexing. But make sure you add the Webmaster Tools. But if you add it to Webmaster Tools, you run the risk whenever you do the sitemap of it indexing quite fast. So Nick, in the very beginning of Domination Robot, when we were first talking about its inception and creation, hey Nancy, how are you doing? So just saw Nancy pop in here. So with the Domination Robot, let me just mute Nancy there real quick. With the Domination Robot, it was supposed to be on a drip. So it would create these pages on a drip type of campaign. But that kind of changed when the creation came about and everybody decided what it was going to do and how it was going to do it. So, yeah. A question for Mike here on Money Robot. So Money Robot at times sticks at 33%. Creates accounts for days. Suggest restart or... Okay. So, Mike, what I would do... Yeah, two Nancy's. One looks like Frank. Good question, Brian. Good observation, I should say. So with this, Mike, this is a good question. I would recommend with Money Robot, use your own email account. You'll get better, more accounts created using your own email if you're not already. The second thing is that you can use your own private proxies and you get better accounts created with that as well. Make sure that your threads are between 11 and 15. So your thread count is 11 to 15, and that will get the best results for your Money Robot. So you should be getting a lot better results than that. At 33%, that's pretty low. One other thing I would do is make sure your Internet Explorer is up to date. It needs to be the latest edition, completely up to date, for it to work properly. Yeah. Looks like Keith rejoined us. Keith, welcome. Looks like Frank disappeared because he was tired of being called Nancy. So we'll have to see if if Frank returns. I'm sure he'll pop back in here. So Keith, let's see if Frank comes back in because I would really love to hear him, have him hear your question. Yeah, definitely, Mike. Anybody else? Anybody have anything else you want to talk about? Oh, that's too bad, Keith. I really hate it when routers go out. Monitoring tools. Michael, what exactly do you mean by that?
Yeah, I got back in.
Oh, there you are. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, Keith just returned. So, Keith, you're welcome to ask your question now if you'd like.
Okay. I had asked the question earlier about I was looking for software to take like a folder of intros and a folder of outros and add them to my main video and mass produce like 30, 40, 50 videos, you know, that would have different titles, but they would all have different intros and outros. And I was looking for software to do that, and then Michael had mentioned earlier that you guys were looking at something like that with a Livestream Genius, but I'd also posed the question as whether or not that could be something that could be added to Project X.
That's a good question. It's kind of funny you mentioned that, Keith. One of my clients, I do a lot of video. She does lots of instruction work, and she produces for a course usually around 100 to 150 videos for a course, and she produces these huge DVD sets. So I'm constantly taking her videos and putting intros and outros on them. Now Project X can do half of that right now. It can put the uniqueness in terms, well, it's not intro outro, but it can put the uniqueness, like the branding on the video as a whole. But what, Keith, what I'll do is I'll get you to pop me a message in Video Spin Blaster. One of the guys are talking about that too. Thank you. You can pop me a message. I've actually got a tool I built that I use with my own business that lets me put a disclaimer. It's actually a disclaimer and a copyright that I put on either side of the video. What we could do is look at maybe modifying it, making it work for what you're trying to do too. Because I use that tool extensively. That's something I use quite a bit, and I can see that. It's interesting you mentioned that. Might be something you want to do, because I've already had people ask me, is there a way to put, dead space at the end of the videos? Because Google right now or YouTube is liking to cut off the end of the live stream videos, and that really drives me nuts. We've been trying to find a way to get around it, but it might be that we got to put a little bit of black space at the end of our videos, and maybe that's something we get to do too. Yeah, no, that's something that's interesting. Keith, do me a favor. Put together, if you had your Nirvana, and this tool could do exactly what you wanted to, explain it in gory detail to me, and I'll look at it and see how we can either A, add it to Project X, B, make a new tool, and I'll bring you in on it to get you going. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd explained to Michael that I'm a videos subscriber. So I've mass-produced a whole bunch of logo intros and things like that I want to use, and the kind of stuff that I'm doing is not affiliate. I mean, I'm in a specialized industry which nobody in this group would know anything about, and I'm trying to make all these videos with specific keywords and I'm trying to find a way to mass produce that, and I ain't found it yet. And I'm using Project X. I mean, I've done some small stuff with Project X. I made about 11 videos with it, and I'm using those and uploading those annually. And I did a couple of live streams with those, not complex projects, just simple projects. But like I said, I'm looking for a way to mass produce 30, 40, 50 videos that I can load up into like a complex project and then just let them run, or even manually load them into all the different YouTube channels that I've created. So.
Yeah, I hear you. He probably does exactly how to.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Guys, I just dropped the link into the chat. This is something I received from another marketer this week, and we were talking extensively about overlays. And something kind of that I did talking with Tad just a minute ago about the ClickBank. I don't know if this does ClickBank, but I know this definitely does Amazon, eBay. Maybe it does do ClickBank. I haven't looked at it in a while, but it just came out this week, I believe, on JVZoo. And it looks like a pretty neat overlay. There are a couple of one-time offers. I'm not too sure what the complete price is, but it does look pretty interesting for creating multiple type of overlays. Sorry, just got a message. Sorry about this. Anybody else have any questions?
Sure, I got a question. It's Peter.
Hey, Peter.
My preferred approach, rather than trying to find a whole bunch of niches to enter, has been to choose one and try and well, I'd love to dominate that one, but and so I've just been building out specific locations using DR, Is there any merit in that? Like, I haven't got any traffic because as I say, I've only got 10,000 pages indexed yet. But I've come up with a list of 380 keywords, and I'm just building as I'm able. I have a day job, so it's part-time.
Okay.
And it's a home service.
Peter, how long have you had the site running now?
Oh, I built them the 21st of June.
Okay, it's still very new.
Yeah.
That's one thing I have learned over time is even though the internet's fast, it's not that fast. Like we've gotten spoiled with live events. Live events is an anomaly. It really is. Website ranking and it is a time thing. Continue doing your money robots, and if you have money robot, continue doing your money robot syndication. Now here's a trick. Choose inner pages. Don't choose the front page all the time. That's a way to get yourself de-indexed if you use the front page and money robot all the time. Choose your inner pages, and I had a customer whom their website wasn't penalized, but it was in that gray zone. It wasn't really getting any love, but it was indexed, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But the site was already a couple years old. What I started to do is I started to look at the internal pages. I did modify the content in some of the pages. I modified some of the things. Another thing too, make sure that your site, Michael, are you building with Domination Robot the site?
I am, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should be okay because it's mobile ready. Michael, the Domination Robots are mobile ready, right?
Absolutely, yeah. In fact, a lot of the visitors I'm tracking with Hit Sniffer are coming in on mobile. And the lady that bought those 4 thongs, yes, 4 thongs, she bought them on a mobile phone.
Yeah. Oh, she was on the run. Okay.
Well,
but so a lot of things are in place, is what I'm saying. The whole site of it is just killing me. There was a lot of things in place, and everything was lined up. So you've got a lot of things in your favor with these tools. Now you got to be patient. I hate to say that, and continue doing your Domination Robot, and not Domination Robot, your Money Robot syndication, and just continue doing that. Continue building small campaigns on the internal pages, not huge campaigns yet, just small ones on the internal pages. And what'll happen is, like, run, let's say, 1 or 2 campaigns every. Let's say if you take a week, you run 5 campaigns in a week. So, and it doesn't take long. That's why I really love Money Robot. It's very inexpensive to run. Doesn't take long to do. What you can do is at nighttime is just start a campaign up, and then before you go to bed, and let it run, and then poke your head in on it every couple days. And when it's getting close to completion, get another one started, and get another one. Just keep doing that, and be vigilant about that. That's what's gonna get you to the back to home base.
Okay.
Is that vigilancy, and just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Use the Hangout. I can use Livestream Genius. Build some videos. They don't even have to be good ones. Like, you can pull Creative Commons. Like, if you find a Creative Commons video in your particular idea that you like, pull that down, live stream it back up into YouTube. Make a page on that. Add it into your pages, a few of your pages. Tie a link on that video back to the website. That sort of thing. Use Money Robot to link to the YouTube and let the video or the playlist link back to your site. That sort of thing. And it's just all this kind of this interlinking. You got to remember that getting ranked is a huge popularity contest.
Right.
And if you show that you are popular in your niche, then you will see rankings. Now, if you're trying to rank a site that's quit smoking, you're going to have a long, hard push. Okay, and that's like when Tad mentioned about weight loss. Find the niche, find the keywords in the keywords, and you'll go far. So you just got to be patient. Your site is very, very new. The site is literally under a month old. So
right.
Yeah, I've had sites now. When I started doing all this years ago, it'd take a month just to get the site indexed. Like, Google was very slow at indexing. It took a month. It used to kill me. But once you got indexed, you start getting traffic right away. They give you preferred treatment. This was yonks. I wish I knew then what I know now. I would have been done like 100 times over. But you know, just patience. You know, like think of this as it's a long-term game. You just got to keep trying, keep working on it, keep working on it, keep working at it. And what's going to happen is one day you're going to look at your stats and you go, oh my goodness, I got like 100 visitors today. You know, it happens that way where you get nothing, 100 visitors, nothing, 500 visitors. You know, I have sites that I've had up for 6 or 7 years. They see thousands of visitors every day, and what I purposely do, and this is something I've told Michael too, because Michael is hot about getting monetization in a site quickly. I'm exactly the opposite. I'll actually let a site run for 6 months. I let the grain sprout, I let it grow, and I don't try to harvest it until it's ready. And because sometimes that'll be against you too. If you get a manual look-see by the search engines, you could get pages less favorably ranked if there seems to be this nefarious, this ulterior motive, like making money. Hey, we do this to make money, come on, guys. But I'll take all my advertising off, and that's what I did with some of these sites. I ran them. What happened was I'll tell you the story. I had a few sites that were getting thousands of visitors every day, and they almost got pretty much de-indexed. And I'm like, what in daylights is going on? So I stripped all the advertising out of it. I had paid sponsors. I canceled all the subscriptions that I had working with me. It hurt like heck at the time, but I did what I did because I knew the site wasn't getting the traffic, and it wasn't fair to charge them for that. So then I reworked the site. I changed the theme. I mixed it up a little bit, and it took 2 years for the sites to come back up. And I'm getting to that place where I'm ready to put the advertising back into it and getting the subscriptions back into it. So it's a time thing, like some of the things Michael does are pretty aggressive. Like you, Michael, you use the webmaster tools to get pages indexed very quickly. That's something I don't do. I'm more the cautious kind of guy. I take the time. Both methodologies work. I'm actually starting to adopt some of Michael's methodology because it does pick up things. But all in all, just realize it's going to take time.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great question. Now, great response there, Frank, I should say. Now, on to that. That made me think of something, and I would ask that if you mention this. Actually, I wouldn't mention it, not until it's announced. I'm telling you, so it didn't come from me. That's all I'm saying. I will deny all aspects of this if it ever comes out. I didn't say it. I never said this. It never happened. But I was talking to Nick yesterday about very same thing that you were talking about, Frank, because I was thinking, okay, let's say I built out this page, this site. Okay, I built out a site. I'm not going to tell you how many pages. But I can tell you it's more pages than you ever imagined, probably with a Domination Robot site. Building a site. So I built out this crazy site. And just completely nuts. And anyways, I'm still waiting for it to get indexed because it was so massive that it had slowed down the servers. And
well, you wouldn't do that, would you, Michael? Really? Come on.
No, never, Frank, not at all. So it slowed down the servers, and Nick actually looked at it. He was like, man, he was like, I'm so glad that you broke this because I realized that we didn't make the sitemaps fast enough. So he made the sitemaps even faster. Today there's an update coming out that sitemaps will now be accessible no matter the size in under 2 seconds, which is great. That's perfect for Google. The second thing is that I said, well, okay, what if this site gets taken down? Because chances are, at this size, this is a big mama. And if Big Mama gets taken down, if she gets pulled over, and taken out of her car and completely ripped apart, it's going to destroy all this work. He was like, don't worry, we are coming out with an update that is going to band-aid anything over like that. So let's say that Google does de-index one of your websites. Let's hope this never happens with Domination Robot, but let's just say it does happen. And it happens, and you lose a website, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, 5 months, I'm going to kill something or myself, 5 months of work and down the drain, all that keyword research, all those pages, all that indexing, all that money robot. Unless Domination Robots update coming out is going to have a clone feature. So if this ever does happen, you clone that website, all of the links, all of the pages, and boom, you set up the exact same website again, new domain name, new URL, all the pages go back, everything is forwarded, traffic keeps coming. And
Yeah, that's the way to get around it. You know, that's the way. I've done that too, where I've thrown away domain names, and because I had a site, Michael knows about it. I've tried really hard to keep the domain name, but it got completely de-indexed because somebody didn't like the fact that I owned the front page in my niche. And so what they did is they sent around 200 or 300,000 poor links to my site. And negative SEO works. I am very affluent with negative SEO. I don't perform it at all, but I know what to look for. And I got completely de-indexed. It just makes me laugh. And Matt Cutts, he says, "Oh yeah, there's no such thing as negative index." And I'm like, "You lying, man, you lying." And, yeah, this is fantastic. This is really easy. So will be like just literally set up a new domain and
boom, and everything is back. Your traffic is back. Everything is back, and that is going to be freaking amazing. There are some really cool updates coming out with Domination Robot. It's just getting better and better. It really is.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this because I'm looking forward to it myself. You know, the neat things like that are coming out. New overlays. I talked to. Now here's something, guys. Now this is something that happened to me this past week. And again, I don't know if DR people would like me saying this, but I'm going to tell you because it happened to me, and I don't want it to happen to you. My Amazon got shut down. My affiliate account got shut down by Amazon 2 days ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, I finally sold 4 thongs. Okay, I said it again. I didn't sell it, people that are watching this. I wasn't selling thongs, but someone bought off my affiliate link 4 thongs, okay? $2 down the drain. Boom, there it goes, you know, with that sell. So they shut down my account, no way to recover it. And when I looked into it, I couldn't figure it out. It showed Tim. Tim was in panic mode because people are selling like hotcakes with Domination Robot on Amazon. Nobody's getting shut down. So why did I get shut down? Turns out Tim looked into it. Not Tim. Nick looked into it yesterday. And when I set up my overlays, you know how you have general and then you have the website settings? If you go over the website settings, you can put your images in, right? Your custom image that shows up behind the overlay. Above that, you have a title and a subheading. I was deleting those out and I was leaving it blank. So I was deleting those out because I wanted to make my overlays clean, you know, without any title text up on top or subheading text below it. And what was happening was for Amazon, they were looking at that and they were saying there's no content on your page. They said if we take away your ads, there's no content. So that was content. Keep your headings in there. Keep your titles. Keep your subheadings.
I'm gonna have to call, guys. Get back continue. Good.
All right. See you, Frank. Yeah. So make sure that you keep your. Yeah, I would say both of them, Tad. At least put something in there. So what I do is now I put on the titles. I set up a new account and I put in the title. You know, best deals on Amazon. And then my description, I just have a regular description. So every time I add this, it goes in naturally. I double click, boom, it's in there, and then I save it. Yeah, I would be careful, Tad. I'd be careful. This is what Nick said last night when he looked at it. He said you took out this, it's showing up as no content. So what they're actually going to be coming out with because of this is an update coming out for the Amazon overlays, adding in more content. And to make it more product content showing up. Because right now it just has the product, no really descriptions or anything like that. If you look at that link that I dropped in for that plugins by Igor, it will show you his custom store that sets up as the overlay. There's a lot of content. There's videos, there's descriptions, there's reviews. There's a lot of content in that overlay. And I know when Tim was looking at this, he was looking at ways that they could improve their overlays. So I think there's going to be some updates coming out to the Amazon to the overlays. But I don't want you to make the same mistake I did, because of all the people that get hammered, I got hammered. But if that can save you guys from getting hammered, make sure you don't delete your content in there. Make sure you keep it in. Yeah. So if you have any other questions or anything you want to talk about, feel free to get up on the mic.
Oh, undo me.
Hey, Michael.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. I was really curious with on Livestream Genius. I hate to jump there a little bit because I'm using both of them. Is there a way to make channels faster, to get them verified, and other than manually?
Unfortunately, not really.
Mm.
The best way to do it is manually, and I know that's a pain. Now, is it double verification? Usually, whenever you set up a channel, an account, and then you set up new channels, you don't have to double verify every channel. So it should only be one overlay. I mean, one verification per channel once you set up a new account, right?
Right. But every time you add a new channel, it has to be verified. When you add that channel, then you have to go in and enable Livestream Genius, which is another verification. So
it should only be one verification for that new channel. Livestream Genius.
I will double check. I will double check.
Because it shouldn't be. Once you set up an account, it shouldn't be a double verification for every channel. I don't believe. Once you double verify the main account.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, back in the day, there was a great way of saving money for this, which was using Google Voice. I haven't tried it out in months. And basically, you can still use your regular phone number, and you can get like 8 or 12 verifications on Google Voice for free. Just signing up under different Google accounts for the same phone number for your home phone number, your cell. That still works, I believe, but it is a pain. Unfortunately, it's a pain.
I've been buying. There's a guy out of Bulgaria that's been doing the verification for me. He's doing great, but then I have to have the accounts created. Then I have to just manually go in and sit down with him as I add channels to all the new.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to take up too much time, but how many YouTube channels, videos do you think I should really set up per niche? If that's an accurate description.
It depends. Are your niches local niches, or are you doing pay-per-call niches?
Pay-per-call.
Okay, pay-per-call. That's definitely different. I would set up per account 5 channels.
Okay.
10 channels, perhaps. You could do 20 if you wanted to, but here's the thing. When I was doing my mass spam campaign almost a year ago, and I did 30,000 videos, now I did it on one account. Really, 1 or 2 accounts, and I did it with 30 channels on one account. Wow. So, you know, when one channel got nailed, they started tracing it back, and every single one of my channels got nailed. So I would say if you're doing pay-per-call, sparse it out. And put maybe 10 channels per account, and set up each account for different niches, like plumbing, locksmith, and then set up multiple channels with multiple videos, multiple areas.
Okay, and I also do local search marketing, and I use video, and Livestream Genius. I do keyword research, use the tool you suggested. And then I put one up yesterday. It's amazing. Google first page, right? My video, right there, overnight. I just love this. I just need more. More. That's what my wife says. She's talking about money, though. More. So, okay.
Yeah.
I'll give that a shot then.
Yeah, give that a shot. You'll find success with that, I believe.
Okay, very cool. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, definitely. I was talking to Frank about this, trying to figure out a way that we could create a tool that we looked into it a little bit before Project X, and then we got busy with Project X. But there was a guy that I've talked to online, and he created a tool that auto-verifies, I believe, live streaming, and it goes then, and the tool will log into the account, and it will click, activate live streaming and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I've tried so hard to get this tool from this guy, and he has refused for like 8 months. So I wish I could get a hold of this and figure out what he did, because that would be an amazing way of doing it. We've looked into it, like I said, ourselves. We're trying to kind of figure out a way of getting this, because that would be the ultimate thing, is to turn it on, have it go into your accounts, activate them, live stream them, and be hands-free, even more hands-free, because that's what we ultimately want, is complete hands-free control. Now, I'll tell you this. We've talked about this in the past, but we never actually did it, and it's been activated on Money Robot's side. We have the ability to connect directly to Money Robot with Livestream Genius. It's just a matter of getting that programmed in with Frank, with the API. So we're kind of working on that. That's something we'd ultimately like to have. So what we'd like to have is a train. The engine would be your, or I should say the caboose would be your Project X. You would start with your Project X. It'd be automatically live streaming, and it would go straight through to the engine of like Money Robot, straight out, right? So that would be a perfect system in my mind. Have your videos create Project X, go through live stream, straight out to your syndication. We're also in the future going to be working on getting connected directly to VidPenguin and other big softwares like that you could select drop-downs or whatever and say, okay, as soon as this live streams, I want it to go out and be syndicated here, 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 here. And those are different things we're working on. We have some really neat ideas with IFTTT, but that's really secret. Can't talk about that one, but maybe in the future we'll have something that will satisfy the IFTTT people out there, which I know there's plenty. Mike, this is awesome, dude. I'm just seeing your comment. So earlier we were talking about the Money Robot. Looks like Mike just made those changes, and he said that Money Robot jumped from 33% to 99% in 4 minutes. That's awesome, Mike. Good job. That's great. Perfect. And Keith was saying he uses a burner app on iPhone for doing the verifications. That's a neat way of doing it, Keith. Okay, so Peter, how far are we from the integration between LSG Pro and Project X? I'd like to say 3 weeks, but Frank's got a busy couple of weeks with family and weddings and all sorts of good stuff like that, so I'm not too sure if 3 weeks is an honest assessment. I would like to have it 1 month, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'd like to have it out as quickly as possible. So Brian, the Money Robot tweaks, those were basically setting the thread counts, setting up custom emails, and updating Internet Explorer, making sure it's fully updated. So making sure everything was running smoothly, and also custom proxies. That will get your best stuff taken care of. Definitely. Awesome. Awesome sauce. So if you have any other questions, or if you're in here as a viewer and you can chat, I think viewers can chat. Feel free to ask your question in the chat if you want. Looks like we have 9 people hanging out in the chat.
Michael?
Yes.
When I first jumped on this session, you were talking about while it makes sense to optimize YouTube videos that you upload, it doesn't make sense to do that for live streaming because live streaming strips that out. You do still recommend optimizing the thumbnails, I imagine, after the video has been live streamed?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know in mass it's difficult to do, but it's been helpful from my seat to do that.
Yes. Yes, and there are some tools out there that can do these mass optimizations, for the thumbnail. So you can select the thumbnail, you can type in your data or a number of thumbnails and type in your data and have it split it all, spit it all out. So definitely.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got a program that I use called GeoSetter. You ever hear that?
Yes, I have.
And I've been using that to, geo code my images. But in that software, you can also set up templates for doing all of the optimization. So you can set up all kinds of templates. So it's something if you want to go look for GeoSetter, GeoSetter, it's freeware. And it works very nicely.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation. Thank you for recommending that. You hear of so many tools you forget. So yeah, check out GeoSetter, And those templates, that's so good for the number of videos that you put together. You know, you can just select your drop down, boom, have all your information set up, which is great. So anybody else? Anybody else want to chime in? Don't be shy. I see Nancy back there hiding behind a piece of tape or a Band-Aid or something on her camera. That's awesome. Gotcha, Nancy. Time for eggs and toast. Go get them, Keith. Eat a couple for me, man. Eat a couple for me. All right, Tad. Great seeing you. Thanks for coming in. Great question there, Peter. Yeah. In fact, let me show what I do with Article Forge. That's a good one. Didn't even think about that. All right. Let me pop this over on another screen. Pull up my Article Forge here, and we'll share my screen. Hopefully, this is doing the right one. Let me know when you can see my screen. Perfect. And if you want to open it up bigger, remember you can right-click on your screen and open it up in YouTube, turn it on HD, and make it high quality if it's blurry or anything like that. So, okay. So let's go into new article. So you can put in your main keyword here. Let's say here. Give me Peter, put in a keyword you'd like to have an article for. Painting contractor. Okay, so let's say let's just say we do painting. You could put in sub keywords if you wanted to, but you could say you do commercial painting. Well, let's do that below. So we could do okay, so we're going to do most readable right here. I want it the most readable coming out. I like to make my articles 750 words. I like to add in titles and headings. Now, I like to put an image in, so I do 100%. Video probability, I do about 95%. I guarantee the article uniqueness with CopyScape, and then I turn on Word AI. And Word AI, just to be straight up with you, it's like $50 extra a month. It's a little biting, but I tell you what, the way it does it is fantastic. So I say, okay, quality, I want very readable. We'll turn on the Turing spinner, and I'm going to leave the other ones alone right now for this. So let's go ahead and create this new article. So here we go. It's starting to query painting. And it's going out, it's checking out all sorts of articles out there. Mamma mia. It's going pretty quickly. Not too shabby. Now it scares me when it says formulating and organizing my thoughts. Okay, you want to talk about artificial intelligence. How does this thing have thoughts? Just thinking out loud here. Just thinking out loud. That's a little creepy. I'd hate to see what it thinks of me. Not really, to be perfectly honest with you, Peter. In my experience, it just wasn't worth it. You know, not using Word AI, it really didn't come out very good. Now you could if you wanted to, and with these mass page websites, does it really matter? I think Google really does rank upon how good the article is, for me at least. You know, I think Google's smart enough to see a crappy article and smart enough to know what a good article is. So it's writing its own thoughts in its own words. Okay, total creepy here. And for those of you that haven't seen this image, let me just show you this. This is Domination Robot article creation versus Article Forge. So Domination Robot auto contents over here. and Article Forge is over here, and you can see it's pretty darn good quality. And the images are pulled in and all that good stuff. So let's go back over here. Okay, it's adding in special flare. Here we go. So it's done. So now let's check out the article. Okay, instant solutions for painting and easy to follow step by step. Painting ceiling doesn't desire superior paint. Gloss is somewhat popular paint to utilize for dwelling exterior painting. When you see painting, I mean, you know, it's very readable. Granted, there are some things there. Hey, it's Bob Ross. I love this dude. Love his afro. So what I do whenever I'm doing this, I like to go over and I copy the HTML for me. This is the way I do it. Go to HTML, I copy my code, and hang on just a second. Let me just a moment. We log into my alternative domination robot site. Just a moment. Ooh, mamma mia. It broke on me. Okay, so here we go. So let's say that we go to knocker socks. That's kind of creepy. What I like to do is I click on source because I'm putting in HTML. And I just paste it in. I click off a source and the formatting goes in really nicely. Now the reason why I do this versus just copying the syntax in, that's weird, is I've noticed unfortunately that sometimes copying the syntax directly in causes issues. So if I put the HTML directly in, syntax comes out nicely. So you see this is the top spun heading, so you could do something like this. You could put this in, put in city, full state, state, and then zip at the end if you wanted to do your syntax at the top. Lies you've been told about, you know, let's say keyword. You know, and put that right into the title. So you could put your keywords directly into a spun title, delete this out, and this is the way I put it together, and then at the top of this, I do this. But most of the time, I do direct keywords at the top. So right here, I'll put keyword, city, full state, state, and zip at the top. And then you put your content in. So let's take a look at this and see what it would look like. I don't know why this is dragging, but it is. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is really odd. Never actually had this happen. Yeah, it's definitely a lot slower. I have like super fast hi-fi speed, so shouldn't be having this. It's going to cause me to have anger management issues. Ah, that's why it failed. Looks like my main page failed. All that content's gone. No wonder. Alright, so we'll just delete that out. But it really does make it look nice in there. So you have a nice article just like this going in. Your text are bolded. If you want to edit within here, you can just double-click anything that you want to edit, and you can make it, you know, bold. So you could do something like this. Select it. Say, okay, I want this to be bold. Paragraph, you can align it, you can auto-link, you can create your links directly in here, and you can do all of that. So it is really nice with the articles, and you can come together with some super amazing articles. And then, of course, you can keep all of your articles. So you can have every article that you've done. Mamma mia, dude. That dude put out a lot of articles. I'm sharing my account with another guy from our group who wanted to try it out, and it looks like he's going to town with his articles here. But let's say that I wanted to create another painting article. I could go over and say, okay, I want to clone the settings, just like this, and this time I want to make it for Tier 2, for Money Robot, right? Create even more spinnable versions, right? You could do that. You could go in and change your settings. You could shuffle it. You could make it smaller. You could turn on all the spinning, right? Very readable or not very readable. you could use this for anything that you wanted to. You could go ahead and change your words. You could do a switch to bulk article creator, which this would basically create. You could put out 1,000 different articles, separate text articles it would put out for the bulk article generator. So there are so many different things you can do with that article forge. It's really awesome. I absolutely love it. So hopefully that answered your question there, Peter. Hopefully that was a good enough example. Cool. All right. Anybody else? All right. Then on that note, before we end it, anybody have any big plans this weekend? Going out barbecuing, going out camping, hiking, snake hunting, rattlesnake hunting? Okay, maybe not. Bear hunting? Anything fun and exciting, adventurous, crazy, skydiving, anything like that? If you guys are doing any of that, let me know. Bought a new house. Cleaning windows. Awesome, Michael. Congratulations on your buy. That is awesome. Yeah, Peter, build, build, build. There you go. Keith, grandkids tonight. 5 the Mamma Mia, Keith. You're going to have your hands full, man. You better watch out with those kids, dude. Stilly Dan and Steve Winwood last night. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Brian, that is really cool. 13 grandkids, Keith. That's awesome. That is really, really awesome, man. That is great. Congratulations. That's a handful. Imagine having them all in your house at one time. Yeah, I bet, Brian. I bet that was. All right, Mike, see you later. All right, see you later, Keith. Peter, take care. All right, so now that they're all gone, let's talk about the really secret stuff now. I'm joking, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that was great, Brian. Maybe we'll do this, more Saturdays. Get together and kind of brain meld. That'd be awesome. So
Hey,
thanks
Mike.
for coming in.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Wait till Brian leaves, and then you can have all the secret stuff.
I know he's hanging on. He's hanging on by his fingers, just waiting to see what we release. And I know there's 7 viewers still, so I know that the people waiting there are like, hey, maybe I'll hang on to it. I'll see if they're going to release some really good things.
So how do I put my session in stealth mode?
I think you'd have to leave and come back as a viewer and pretend like you're not here. Oh, that's great. That's awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for coming in today.
Michael, one thing that's probably worth sharing in the group, and that is there are so many good ideas that have been shared in the Facebook groups, both of them, that one doesn't have to do all of those. They really can focus just on 2 or 3.
Yeah.
As an example, your real estate approach that you shared earlier, people could do that, and 1 or 2 or 3 related or cousin type things, and really just focus on that and just keep hammering and hammering and hammering. And, there's hundreds of things that we could do, but you don't have to do hundreds of things. And it's just amazing how much I learn or get reinforced each time I go through the training.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Brian. I think we always kind of pick up different things with training. I'll do that with any type of training that I do. First time, I kind of skim it. Second time, I dig a little bit deeper. It's kind of like an onion. You're peeling off the different layers.
Yeah.
And, eventually, you get down so deep. You're like, wow, this is awesome. And then you do it again. You're like, oh, I never even thought of that. Why didn't I see that the first time? So yeah, I think you're right on that. There should be a method to the madness. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put together maybe a PDF or a mind map of, okay, let's say that you're brand new to the Live Stream Genius, or you're just coming in, or whatever. Start here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. Do this, or if you choose this path, do this. Choose this path, do this. You know, maybe would something like that help people, do you think, better?
It's interesting because I think by the time most people find a group, they're already in lots of groups and they're very scattered.
Yeah.
So they have thin experience in each one of the products or approaches, but no depth yet. And it's the whole shiny object thing, because there really are cool things that come out. But it's at the same time, you know, one really benefits themselves if they focus.
Yeah.
And I think a deeper dive on a step-by-step in a niche, it's kind of a case study approach, I guess, with some emphasis that while this case study just focused on this niche, don't just focus on this niche, which was an example, because you can do this in dozens and dozens or hundreds of other niches, but pick 2 or 3 that you're comfortable with and just attack that and see what happens for yourself. And maybe that kind of approach might help folks. Because it's interesting how many people come into a group and bought a product but don't really have any idea how to they might know how to rank something now, but they don't know how to monetize.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I've had so many people lately who have been quitting, pro, or they get in and they're like, you know what, I never even use this. I don't even know what to do with it. And I'm like, it boggles my mind why you would buy something if you're not going to try to monetize it. The shiny object thing of getting something, but never doing anything with it. And I know that this is a common issue that people have. It's like a twister. It's like a tornado. We love to see it from a distance, but we all know that we're right in the middle of it, and we think that we're on the distance, but we're really right in the middle of this tornado, and we can't even see that because it's so much going around us all the time. We buy something or we grab something, and we never really grab a hold of it. We never really hold it. It just kind of flies out of our hands and becomes part of the debris that constantly flies around us,
Whoever made up the devil was in the details was definitely correct.
That is true. That is so true. That is definitely true.
Well, I'm gonna jump start my weekend. So good chat.
Definitely. Thanks for coming in.
Take care.
Always appreciate you being here.
Oh, always a pleasure.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
See you, Brian.
See ya.
All right. Good stuff coming now.
Is it just you and I left?
It's just you and me, man.
Oh.
Imano with 9 viewers, hanging on for the good stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
That's great, man. That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming in today. I'm gonna go ahead and close this sucker out, unless you have something you really want to talk about.
Nope.
All right. Wow, I totally wore you out, man. I've got you worn out like a rubber band now.
No, I just need to start putting the stuff together and a little more perspective, because I was and I still probably will, because I was doing more like the shotgun approach, where just throw as much stuff up against the wall and see what comes out.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to do some of that, but I'm going to focus down on some things too.
Yeah, it's good to get out there, and it's good to go fishing. All right, so I wrap fishing in here one last time. It's good to go out there fishing, but it's also good to catch the fish.
Well, that's what we should do. We should go to the bay and go fishing someday.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
You like saltwater fishing too?
You know what? I've never been saltwater fishing.
You live How close are you to the bay?
Oh, I'm pretty close, but I get seasick pretty easily, motion sickness. So I just haven't ever gone out on a boat knowing that I would be sick as a dog, I'm sure.
I don't have a cure for that because I get it too. In fact, I tell people so funny. See, I used to drive for a living. I used to drive for UPS.
Yeah.
I could drive fine. Can't be a passenger. I get car sick.
Nope, I get car sick. Well, I can't be a passenger as long as I don't look at anything. So if I look at a book or my cell phone or a laptop, oh my gosh, stick my head out the window, because I'm sick as a dog.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't read a paper. Yeah, I mean, I can do other things, but yeah. But it's just strange that, I could drive and never a problem.
Yeah.
With a boat, I mean, I used to run. I had a bass boat because I used to fish in tournaments, and I was like, I'm fine on this boat, just out in the bay or in the, it's like chillman.
Yeah, that's not bad. I can do that too, but oh man, some of those waves.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's great. That's awesome.
All right, well, Michael, thanks again, and I hope you do them more often.
Yeah, I was just thinking last night. I thought, you know what, we haven't done a webinar in the group for a while, and it's good just to get, no pressure, no sales, no pitching, nothing like that. It's just great to sit down and talk with the people in the group because there's so much for us to share and there's so much to talk about.
Right.
So
I know you said don't do things like you do, but how are you building with only 8 keywords the 300,000 page sites?
Well,
I mean, guess what? You got 46,000 cities, so each city gets the keyword.
Yep.
So that's 8 times. So you're now over 300,000. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. So I'm targeting, like I said, my main keywords. I'm looking at my trends. So I'm using that keyword finder because it tells me what the trends are.
Right.
So I look at the trends. I make sure it's going up, and I find those 8 major money keywords.
Right.
And what I'll do sometimes is if there's a lot of good long tails, now this is where I get into trouble with Nick, is I've built more than I should. And next week there's an update coming out, I believe, that's going to limit people to 300,000 per website. So if you're over 300,000 on your website, I think those pages get cut off.
Right.
Because they only have so much space. I mean, that's a lot of pages. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I have to look for the training on how to do that because I saw how they did it before, but I didn't see how they you just do 1 keyword per
Here, let me show you right now if you want to see it right now.
Sure.
If
Jimmy Kelly, because I know you know Jimmy Kelly.
Yeah.
He was on a quest because it was the 1 million page club.
Yes.
Now he's up to the 1 billion page club. Yeah. And I haven't because on Tuesdays they have a thing. I don't know if you get the invites to them, and I don't know if
not anymore.
Yeah. But they were talking about one because he had blown through it so quick that he's like, we got to change it to 1 billion.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, you mean he's building 1 billion pages?
Yeah.
For sites.
Yeah.
On one domain.
Oh, I don't know if it's 1 domain. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I don't think that's possible on one. I mean, anything's possible, but you're getting nailed by Google for that. I mean, the biggest site I've ever built so far is 3 million pages.
Wow.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. Now, that's not with Domination Robot. That's the biggest page I've ever built with a mass page type of creator software.
Right.
And I was bragging about this the other day with another marketer, and this marketer laughed and said, "Boy, you've got a lot to learn." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They were like, "My biggest page was 12." That's the biggest page I've ever built with a mass page type of creator software. Oh, let me mute BJ there. I was bragging about this the other day with another marketer. This marketer laughed and said, "Boy, you've got a lot to learn." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They were like, "My biggest page." BJ, I had to mute you, buddy. Getting feedback. I actually muted you, by the way, Pat. Sorry about that. Yeah, anyways, this marketer told me their biggest site they ever built was 12 million pages. And I was like, oh my gosh. 4 times the size of what I had built. So I was, anyways. So when you go in here, you can see my site, right? Okay, sorry, you can unmute yourself, Pat, if you want.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, perfect. So when you go in, you have your keywords, and you put in, your Michael Jackson.
Hillary for prison.
Okay, so you have 7 keywords here, right? Now what you do is right here where it says Edit Shortcode, you just click this, and it shows up a little star next to it. You hit Save, and now it's blue. So, hey, BJ, welcome, welcome. So whenever you do this, you know that it's going to create a page for every single one of these keywords, 45,000 locations.
Okay.
So now this is how you would build it. You would say, oops, keyword, city, full state, zip. And off it would go. And it would put your content in there, right? So let's just do this. We'll do start campaign. Oops, let's go filter. Make sure that you select all of your states. Start campaign. And boom, 300,000. Now if we go back over here and we unclick this and we save it again, and we do start campaign, only 45,000 pages.
Right, right, okay.
So that's really the major difference there. And
Okay.
That's how you get that activated to target every single location, is click that and have it show up.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, VJ, you got us at the tail end, man. We're getting ready to close up shop here, but I will have a replay, I believe, so I'll post that in the group for everybody. Anything else, Peter? Pat?
No, I definitely appreciate it.
Definitely. I got one question for you, man.
Go ahead.
What is the, oh gosh, what's the aquarium behind you? Is that for a fish or a snake?
Neither.
Neither?
No.
Okay.
I was actually waiting for that question because I was like, yeah, I can see the tank, and there's nothing in it right now, but I've always been very interested in predator-prey things, and I used to have snakes, but it was actually for tarantulas.
Wow. Whoa. Oh,
I love tarantulas.
Oh, you're creeping me out, man. You are creeping me out.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had all kinds of things. And like I said, where I live now, I used to have a mini farm where I'd have all kinds of animals running around. But
Right.
like I said, I've always been interested in the predator-prey relationships. Like, you'll watch. If I go in to watch TV, I'll be watching Nat Geo. Got to see the lions and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. No, tarantulas though. Ooh. Spiders? Oh, no way. Heck no, man. Pull out magnetism.
they're fine in the in the tank. I mean, I wasn't in. Some people are into letting them crawl over them, and I really wasn't. But like I said, it was interesting to me to watch the relationship they had with prey around them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. If they saw me, I'd be like that. Marv. I'd be like Marv from Home Alone. If I saw a tarantula, I'd scream. A little girl, I'd run. I'd run away very quickly. That's what I do. So BJ had a quick question here on the if I'm building for affiliate or lead gen. Both, but really more right now affiliate. I'm really building out a lot of sites for affiliate. Yeah. In fact, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I believe that people are going to be able to build more websites again. I think there's going to be another upgrade coming out, or another number of, and I think this is right. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but there may be the ability for more websites being built in Domination Robot.
Wow. Hey, Mike, do you know what's the significance of limiting the page count?
I think with Google, too many pages is definitely a red flag. I think Nick was telling me the most that they've ever gotten, like he tested out a 1 million page website, and they got 500,000 pages indexed. And too many URLs, too many pages on a site gets picked up by Google. There was a big issue a couple of months ago or a year ago or whatever with this guy that joined Search Shaker, and he got into Search Shaker and he went nuts. And I think he built like a 1 million page website or a 5 million page website or something. And he brought hell down upon all of his URLs. Google came after him for all of his sites.
Oh, okay.
And they nailed him because it was too many pages, too many links, things like that. So I think it's the fear of overdoing it. So they found that the safe number were 300,000 to 500,000, I believe.
Okay.
For
Yeah,
differentiating. Yeah.
Yeah, the further I can stay away from them and being on their radar, the better.
Yeah. Yeah. And BJ, as far as checking your pages on a site, you can do site.website.com, but that's only going to show you a certain number. Like, for an example, and I'll tell you since we don't have too many people on here anymore. One of the sites that I built in Domination Robot has 1.3 million pages. And this is the site that Nick is doing a custom, what do you call it, a case study on me. So I built out 1.3 million pages, and in 5 days I've got, let me check here. Let me refresh, because I haven't checked it yet today. I check this every day because it's exciting for me. See how many pages I've got in index. So,
is it driving traffic?
Oh, yes. So now I have 575,000 links indexed. So almost half are indexed now. Now, if I do site.mywebsite.com in Google, it only shows about 177,000 pages are indexed. Now, why does Webmaster Tools say 575 are indexed when the site. It's not accurate? Because site.website is pulling from certain servers on Google. Google's indexing are on multiple servers, so it doesn't always show the most accurate. The most accurate is going to show you through Google Webmaster Tools.
Yeah, well, that's the big thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the sites on the Webmaster Tools, and I'm going to have to get a couple of accounts with them because I'm already over the, you said 20, so I'll stick with 20.
Yeah.
Past there, so.
You know, 20 to 30, it's kind of up there. I'm just trying to be as safe as I can with my craziness because I'm nuts. I'm out of my mind. I really am.
I'll go goofy once I start, once I monetize the stuff and I see I can, then all bets are off. Then it could get really ugly.
Yeah.
Then it's a game.
Huh?
Because then it's a game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a game with you.
It really is. And here's the way that I'm countering this, because you may be saying, well, wait a second, Michael, why are you allowed to build 1 million pages and I'm stuck at 300,000? I was crazy. Okay, but that limit's coming out pretty soon by Domination Robot. So don't build over 300,000, but what I would do is break up the niche, because what I do is I break up the niche. And I get a niche, and I build like 20 or 30 sites, just like you're saying, BJ, in a certain sense, 20 or 30 sites max per Google. Yeah, you could. Yeah, for the Webmaster Tools, that's pretty good. But what I do with a niche is I make like 20, 30, 50 sites for a particular niche, and I just break up the niche. And that way I can build out, 300,000 websites, page sites, 20 or 30 times for different keywords in that niche.
Right.
And then you could have one niche with 12 million pages, but it's 300,000 pages per site. So you're in the safe zone, and you're getting multiple niches out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one account that, like I said, the guy wants me to do his marketing for him, and that's what I did. I actually researched a bunch of, it was really weird, because that's exactly the plan I had. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to have all these domains, and I'm going to break it up so I could just like flood the internet with it. And when I told him, he's got, his website's like 5 pages. He's like, well, how many pages are you going to have? I said, 40, 50, 60, 150,000. Heart attack.
I mean, that's another thing, is you can take over the market. If you think about a local niche, you can take over the market. Let's say that you're targeting, if I'm targeting Northern Virginia, now I set up a site for a dog spa in Northern Virginia, just as a test. 3,000 pages for, a couple of locations. Now let's say that you set up multiple campaigns. You could reach your max of 300,000 pages for one location of all these different pages in several locations, right? You like say you have 100 locations or 500 locations, and you have 8 keywords that you're doing, and you're doing these max, right? For those, or however many keywords. You can put as many keywords in as long as you reach that number, right? That safe number.
Right.
You can really dominate your entire area. I haven't even done it myself. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm like, my gosh, I've been wasting my time. With these local sites, you can wrest control from everybody. And think about it. It's mind over matter. It's quality over number, right? Number over quality or whatever. You could have so many pages out there ranking in your niche, in your locations to drive this lead gen. Don't just stop at 3,000 links. Don't stop at 50,000 links. Max it out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, dominate and take over. Dominate in such a way that you put up an overlay and it says, hey, do you own a dog spot in this area? Call me right now and you can rent this website. Boom. There you go. You know, HVAC. You took over the entire HVAC in your area. If you're in this area and you need HVAC and you're an HVAC company, call me right now. You know, send an email out to those people. I shared recently on the last. I did a webinar with Damon Nelson a couple days ago, and right after we turned off the camera and a bunch of people had left, there were some stragglers hanging around, and Damon said, "Hey, okay, everybody's left. Share the good stuff." And I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, give out the secrets. You know, you got any secrets you want to share?" So he shared some secrets, and people were like, "Oh yeah, what you got? What you got?" And I was kind of lambasted because I wasn't planning on handing out any candy after the event, and I was on the spot. But I remembered this great little thing, and I shared it, and everybody went wild in there because they hadn't even heard of this before. So, you know, what's one of the biggest things that you have? Sorry, Brian, for leaving. Handing out some good stuff here. What's one of the things that we always have as a marketer? What's the problem? Gatekeepers. What are gatekeepers? You know what gatekeepers are, right, Pat?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Gatekeeper is the person, that little secretary. Oh yes, hi, how you doing? Welcome to I'm going to screw you, you know, type of thing, right? And you're like, oh crap, I want to talk to the big boss. Oh, I'm sorry, he's at lunch. And meanwhile, he's in his office, you know, chilling, and you can't get past the gatekeeper. Well, the secret of getting past the gatekeeper is digging up the owner's email address from their website. So, you know, you could use that that site that I actually shared up there. Let me grab the URL. It's a free digger, and it's called, oh gosh, let me find it in my drop downs here. Here we go. So emailhunter.co. Someone drop this in the chat. Emailhunter.co, and you put in your you know, domain name of who you're trying to find. So with these domination, when you're taking over a whole niche and you build out these niche websites, put in your competitor. Put in someone that you want to sell this to. You know, a local HVAC company or plumbing company or Roto-Rooter or tree removal. Put the URL in there and find, if you can, if it's on their website, it will give you their actual email address.
Right.
Skip the gatekeeper. Go straight to the person. Go straight to the source and say, hey, I'm ranking every location. I've got calls out the wazoo. Or I'm getting total domination in your niche. Do you want this? Or if you don't respond in 24 hours, I'm hitting your next competitor. I'm just coming to you out of courtesy. Do you want this or not? It's a little you know, aggressive. But I tell you what, if they're really getting it and they really want it, they'll go for it.
And you do that on a pay-per-call or monthly?
Not really. Yeah, it's more of local. I mean, you could, anybody that has a website that you want to target, you could do it pay-per-call. You could do that if you go after a particular company, absolutely. If you're doing lead gen for locksmith in Georgia or something, you have a Georgia website set up for Domination Robot targeting all the locations. Absolutely. You could call, you know, you could type in Georgia's largest locksmith or Georgia's franchise locksmith. Franchise locksmith Georgia. Find the franchise, call them up, say, hey, listen, I'm targeting this. I'm getting all these calls. Do you want them or not?
Right.
Yeah.
But normally you don't do pay-per-call. You would just rent them the site for like on a monthly basis.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Is
Okay.
I'm doing for that. You
Okay.
know, definitely do pay-per-call if you can.
Right.
But a lot of times people, you know what? It's a pain in the butt sometimes with pay-per-call. Because then people get real cheap with it. Oh, well, this person didn't convert. Well, I'm sorry that you couldn't convert the person.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You pay me because I generated the call for you. Because you suck on the phone, don't come back to me. So I think the best way in that case is rent the website.
Right. Yeah. I had actually seen it. It's probably a year or two ago now. Somebody was advertising a course, and they were talking about that, and they were like, you know, they were getting a lot of complaints because the people were like, well, we're not converting. And they said, okay, well, here, let's listen to your gatekeeper and see how they are. And they were so bad, they were chasing people away. So he actually said, well, what we could do is we could bring somebody in to train your people, and it was all part of the, you know, the upsells and everything to customers.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, though, because, you know, really, how many times have you talked to somebody on the phone that was the gatekeeper, and you're the actual customer, not looking to sell them something, and they suck? I mean,
Yeah.
I would say most. I mean, you know, and God knows the government could use us for everything, because every you know, you talk to their people, it's like, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And in fact, BJ just brought up a good point here, BJ. Earl's themes rock. They rock. They're awesome. Now, here's something else. I don't know if this has been told. Earl, I'm sorry if it hasn't. Earl is coming out with overlays that will be working with Domination Robot. And they are amazing from what I hear. Earl is a genius from ADP.
I've looked at his stuff. They were nice. Just I have to.
Yeah, well, he's coming out with overlays that are going to be short, sweet, and beautiful. So local businesses, these will be great to use with. So make sure you check out Earl.
Now with that, was that going to be? I mean, that was going to be something to purchase. Is that going to be similar to like how he does the regular sites?
Yeah, sort of, I think. But they're just like one-page overlay sites.
Right. No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like you can go in and do, like, he has a monthly where you get so many sites a month, or you can just buy a bulk packet of, you know.
That's right. I believe so. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I can't wait for those to come out because I love overlays. I love creating custom overlays. But Earl, he's the man.
Yeah, they were really nice. In fact, it's definitely something I want to do. I just got to be able to justify it right now.
Yeah, totally understand on that one.
And, you know, I was going to make a comment to you when you were talking about the last webinar you were on and the people were hanging out. Don't you hate when people stay around after the thing's over and ask questions?
You know what? I would say I do, but since it's going on right now, not at all.
That's exactly why I asked the question.
It's great. It's great. In fact, it's still going. I'm still recording. So.
Are you really? Oh man, Brian Wade's going to be like, ah.
You know what? You snooze, you lose. But there is recording, so yeah.
But, you know, Brian's not just going to throw me under the bus now. He's going to be driving the bus.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. If he watches it all the way through, that's going to be the real question. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, there's so much out there we can do, guys. You know, that's ultimately what I want people to get through their heads. Don't get Domination Robot and build one website. I heard from a person last week. I get it like once a week. Michael, oh my gosh. I'm broke as the 10 Commandments, particularly the 7th and the 9th, I believe. 8th and the 9th? 7th and the 9th? Anyways, purity ones. So I'm as broke as the 10 Commandments. And, you know, I built that one website, and it's not working. It sucks. And I fell for your training, and I fell for you, and I fell for this, and I felt like I've been betrayed. I'm like, A, who sells your crack? And B, where can I get some?
Yeah.
Because you don't build out one site. You're not going to succeed with one site, guys. You got to build and build and build and build and build. Build so much that Tim sends you a message and he goes, hey, you know what, you're kind of reaching your limit here. You know, That's what you want to hear. You don't want to build out 10 websites and say, okay, I built out 10 websites. You know, I'm going to do Field of Dreams here. If I build it, they will come. No. Build out 150 websites. Build out 200 websites. Build out 300, if that's within your limit. You know, build within your limit and work hard at it. Do your keyword research. Do your research. Do your local marketing. Look at your local markets. Look for your local searches. And build, because the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit on your success.
Right. Well, I tell you, and I was telling you yesterday that I had spent the last, I guess, 3 weeks just doing keyword research, and I felt bad because I was like, well, I put up 28 sites, but I haven't done anything since, and then I'm looking, I'm like, people saying, oh, I built 3 sites, and I'm like, really? And I'm feeling bad because I only built 28. You know, but like I said, I probably have another 150 that I could do, but now I'm going to reevaluate some of that because I think I'm going to, although I still will do them eventually, I want to really hammer some of them to.
Yeah.
Like I said, I definitely got to put the stuff in the Webmaster Tools because so many of them haven't been indexed. But
yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see what happens after that. How long does it take after you put that in before you start seeing them indexed? Do you know?
Usually, I start seeing them indexed pretty quickly, 1 to 2 days.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, they're pretty quickly. If not, I force index them doubly by going to Google Submit, and I submit them 1 by 1, or you submit the main index. But make sure that when you put them into Google Webmaster Tools, they're not going to index unless you index that sitemap. So you want to make sure, this is the code. Let me share this code with you. This is the code that I use whenever I do my indexing on Webmaster Tools. So you just put /sitemap-index.xml in the Google Webmaster Tools, and you pop that right in, and boom, it submits it, and that main index has all your sitemaps in it.
Okay.
Do you want me to show you where that is?
What's that?
You want me to show you where that is?
Sure.
All right, let me...
You just keep digging a deeper hole.
Hey, you know I love to share. You know me.
Did you have lunch already, Mike?
No, I don't. But you know, actually, I stuffed my pie hole before I got up here. That's why I was a few minutes late because I had microwaved some Tostitos, and I took a bite of it. I was like, man, this tastes disgusting. It tastes like I'm licking a rubber tire, you know. So I had to go and pull out some steak sauce and put it on there, and.
Hey, look, I still got my Raisin Bran.
Hey, it's nice and soggy for you. Yeah.
I like it that way, but man, it's been sitting for a while now.
Where are you calling in from, Peter?
I'm actually in Pennsylvania.
Oh, Raisin Bran for lunch.
Well, actually, no, it was for breakfast, but that's how. When I first got on the call, I was eating, and everybody was commenting that I was eating something on. That was what, 2 hours ago?
Yeah, that was a good 2 hours ago, man.
Where you at, BJ?
Out in Southern California.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, do you see my my dashboard here?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is a site that I never see. I added this back on February 2nd. February 2nd is when I added this. And look at this. It has not been indexed yet because I did not put the sitemap in. So this is a great example of what happens when you don't put a sitemap in. So what you do is you go to crawl, click on sitemaps, and right here you add test sitemap, so it pulls this up, and you just pop that code in, sitemap.index, hit submit, refresh the page, and boom, it's going in. Now look at this. There's an error. Let's see what the error is about. 40p, 404. Do I have this one in here? Hang on a second. Yeah, look at that. I'm having an issue with my sitemap, actually. So that's odd. That wasn't a very good example, but that is what you do. That's, oops. That's what you do. That's where you put it. Is you put it right in there. And then it goes in.
Okay.
You know, so yeah. But you shouldn't get a 404. You should be able to get it in there immediately and start to get it indexed in
Right.
and
Okay.
pull it straight up. Yeah.
Well, if I have any issues, Michael.
You know what? I'm going on vacation. I'm joining BJ, man. We're going to the Philippines, baby. Heck yeah.
So, Mike, once you have more than 20 or 30 per account, you create different personas.
Yeah, you could. You know, I'm really in kind of darkness right now with that, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm putting everything under my main account. I may regret that later. But right now I'm putting it all underneath my main account. But I would say to play it safe, I'd put maybe 30, 20, 30, maybe even 50 sites per domain name. But I really need to get a clear response from Nick on this. Nick was a little shady yesterday. He was saying 20, 30, but maybe more. I don't know. So let me get a better response from Nick on it, and then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's per Google account, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, but it could be a lot more, maybe hundreds. I don't know. I'm pioneering the thing here. I'm just doing as much as I want or can. I may regret that later, but
You have over 100 now? Over 100 now?
no, not yet. But there will be. There will be by tomorrow. I think I'm gonna build out 20 or 30 more sites today, and maybe 20 or 30 tomorrow.
Wow.
I have to see how much 80s music I can.
You're too young for 80s music.
Oh man, I love 80s music. It's my favorite music. I listen to it all the time.
Never too young for 80s music.
That's what I'm talking about. Frank couldn't believe it. When I told him I played 80s music, he actually thought for weeks, he thought I was making fun of him because he listens to 80s music. So he thought that I was making fun of him, getting a little insulted, that I kept talking about 80s music. He's like, you trying to make me feel old? I'm like, no, I love 80s music, man. He's like, okay, who do you like? So I started posting link after link after link, and he started dying. He was rolling. He's like, you and I could work next to each other on the same desk, and we'd get along perfectly. I'm like, yes, yes. Yeah, I love 80s music. Absolutely love it. Yeah, in fact, I came across a weird song yesterday. Oh, gosh. Boys Don't Cry, I Want to Be a Cowboy. And I went, that is such a weird 80s song. That song was so weird. I haven't heard it in years. It's one of those...
Boys Don't Cry.
Huh?
Is that The Cure?
What's that?
Boys Don't Cry, The Cure, right?
Yeah, well, that's the... Yeah, no. That's the name of the group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
one of the best songs of the 80s wasn't from the 80s, and it was the song that started MTV.
which is a...
Money for Nothing?
No, it was, no. When they did the countdown, the very first song they played on MTV was "Video Killed the Radio Star."
Yes, Bugles. I was going to say that. Bugles.
Buggles.
Yeah, the Buggles.
But that was actually from 1979.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great song. Video.
Oh, it's awesome. But it's funny because they play it on TV, and I have a thing. It's on my dish. It's 60s, 70s, 80s, and it shows the 80s and it shows the Buggles, and underneath of it, even though it says it's the 80s channel, 79.
That's awesome. Hey, here's the link for that song by Boys Don't Cry, I Want to Be a Cowboy. That is such a weird song. One of my favorite songs, and it's an Aussie song, I believe, 80s Aussie, is by Midnight Oil, Beds Are Burning.
Yep. That's a good.
I love that song. Love that song. Listened to it last night while I was working on some websites, but yeah, I love that.
And what's the name of the song?
Beds Are Burning by Midnight Oil.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's some really great 80s out there. Yeah, I love to always look out for mixes, and what I really love to find are the vinyl plays up on YouTube. So you get that true 80s music play, playing off of a vinyl.
Yeah, the 80s. I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, in the Army in the 80s, so I remember that.
That's awesome.
That's all we had. You know, we could just listen to music because you couldn't do nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
In fact, that's where I got introduced to MTV because at the time, Philadelphia, where I used to live, they Comcast wasn't in the city yet, so they didn't have any. There was no cable company in the city.
Wow. So you got to.
Yeah. So when I went to Fort Leonard, when we went out on leave, and we rented. There must have been 20 of us in a hotel room, you know.
Yeah, that was back in the day when MTV and VH1 actually played music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It boggles my mind how bad it is now. It's like, no, why do they even call it MTV anymore? Because it has nothing to do. They got all this garbage on there.
Now it's like morons television.
Yeah,
you know?
it really is.
You're like, what are you doing to me? You're killing the brand. You're killing the music. How's it going there, Sean?
Hey, all right, how you guys doing?
Right.
Y'all didn't stop, so I figured I might as well jump on because I was just watching. I had it on YouTube.
How long were you watching, man?
I came in really late. I was
Okay.
yeah, I was up really late last night. So
Oh, burner! You pulled a later?
yeah, I'm more of a night owl than a morning person.
Same here, man. I could totally agree with that.
Yeah. What time? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just one of the things I want to chime on about when everybody's talking about doing the site maps and how many you could have in your account. You got to think there's a lot of companies that are, you know, they run websites and, you know, up to thousands of websites or hundreds of websites for clients, and they're probably a lot of them are doing the indexing site maps under their corporate account versus having to manage hundreds and hundreds of Google's accounts for clients. You know.
That is a great point. That is a great point. You know, my only concern would be is the number of pages.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, certain things are gonna red flag because if you get flagged and they want to start digging, and you have one, they're gonna try and start looking at who is records and figure out that these aren't a bunch, a bunch of client accounts. These are yours.
Yeah.
So that would be the catch-22. But that's why some people are doing personas on their who is, you know. So it really depends on how far you want to take it, but.
That is true. That is true. That's a great point, though. That's a valid point. You know, that's kind of one of the points I get with people that ask me, hey, I've got, you know, my proxies for all my YouTube accounts and, you know, blah, 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 and then I go to a VPS and there's no way to put proxies on it. How do I access all my accounts for Livestream Genius? I'm like, I never use proxies. Maybe that's bad for me to say, but here's the thing. In the same regard, the same point that you made, Sean, there's companies out there that handle thousands, tens of thousands of YouTube accounts. They never use proxies to log in and manage it. So I think in a certain sense, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think in a certain sense people capitalize on the fear-mongering with losing accounts to sell proxies and to sell proxy services.
Well, and there's other things that are taken into account, like with Browsio. I mean, there's a lot more signals that go into it than just your IP address.
That's true.
So you have the cookies and other things that are there that show that you've been authenticated, and you keep coming in, and each of these accounts have been authenticated from that IP. It's like, oh, okay, it's not as much. And plus having a U.S.-based IP. If you're in a different country, I think they may ding you a little bit more if you're coming out of India or Russia. But, you know.
That's true. That is very true. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Awesome.
But one of the sites when you were sharing, it's a little bit more corporate, but you really want to find people? ZoomInfo.com.
I think I've heard of ZoomInfo.
Yes. I have gotten a hold of CEOs of companies when I've had serious customer service issues.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Does that pull phone numbers or emails?
It can pull both, depending on what they have.
Oh, but that is awesome.
Yeah,
Trouble.
so that's a little late golden nugget to see who really listens to the webinar.
That is an awesome share, man.
I've gotten a hold of because Verizon with my FiOS, when they tried to change the price, they sent me a lovely letter how I could get this discount to stay a customer, and when I called them, it didn't apply. So I actually called the guy who was the head of the corporate department that's had his signature on the letter, which of course was just a computer stamp that goes out millions of times, and I got his cell phone number because his office number forwarded to his cell phone. So he's like, you want to see catching someone off guard. I've done that a couple times. It's fun.
Oh, that is awesome. That is great. I love that. That is so great. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
What was that? Zoominfo.com?
Correct. Now you have to play a game with it because the way it works is people join and it wants to pull in your entire address book and that's your agreement with them. So you have to try and game the system and come up with another one, or you're just gonna have to share your address book. And that's how it builds all these things. So all these corporate people have shared their address book to try and get, because they want to network with other people on their level, kind of like LinkedIn, and they can get this information that maybe they have to get the person to approve them and all that stuff on LinkedIn, whereas this, you just get it.
Wow, that is great. That is awesome. I'll share Frank's personal address book, and then it'll be good to go.
Well, that's what a lot of these things do. I mean, there's some of the apps on your phone that say it's free caller ID, and all they're doing is grabbing everybody's book, off there, because you'll allow them to have access to your contacts on your phone, and so they have this huge database of all these people in the U.S.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is great. So, Sean, on this, are you doing Domination Robot?
Yeah. I was agreeing with a lot of what you're saying, that you have to spread out and don't go too deep, go a little bit wider, so that way you can hit those limits. So right now since I know what I'm going to do, I'm mind mapping my strategy instead of just jumping in. And I'm glad I did, because a lot of things have changed from when I first bought it, and I would have had to redo some stuff anyway.
Yep.
There is one thing that I was discussing, because since we're not on a DR call, I don't know how many people saw it, but the Becker came out with a free mass page builder.
Yes.
There was a couple things in there that I'd like to see in Domination Robot. You know
what? I never got it to work. I downloaded it. Had some
I didn't even want to play with it. I just watched the training tools because I'm like, this is.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I loved what I saw in the training. But I installed that darn thing and it couldn't work. In fact, it crashed one of my sites. And I was like, forget it.
Oh yeah, no, it was free, man, and I'm sorry to say, but it's a free Becker product. So I'm like, I'm not gonna, I was like, I'm not even gonna mess with it. I know, but it was the ideology, because my big thing is right now is you know how it says the built by, or page posted by, it's the same person on all the pages.
Yes.
And I would like to see that changed.
Yeah,
you've got Nick's ear a little better than most, maybe, so you can whisper that in his ear, that because that's the thing about like being on the Domination Robot seminars and stuff, is that Nick has awesome information, but it gets lost in the ether, because he shares it in the chat, or shares it with people on Skype, and there's no like structure to it anywhere, so you have to rapidly grab notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, oh man, I was trying to listen to Tim on the screen, and I'm watching what Nick's typing over here, and I'm like,
it's hard to watch it, and
well, because you lose the chat.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, okay, am I gonna have to watch the video later and watch the chat to see what Nick's saying? So it's a little crazy.
Yeah, I wish that Nick would actually talk. I can't
know.
His accent is that bad.
Yeah, it's obviously a big personal hurdle for him.
I've never actually heard him. Or his brother.
No, I haven't. I've never heard him. Never.
I've tried. I invited him to a live chat one day, and I was talking, and he was typing. And I was like, come on, man! I tried to do a funny joke to try to get him to laugh, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't make a tweet, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, even if he just wants to type, if the information could just be like a quick tips notes section,
yes.
So that's why I was glad that you even brought it up for LSG. I was like, because you get the training and stuff, but a cheat sheet goes a long way after to help you remember, because you don't want to have to go back and find that video to remember how to do that thing. It's like, because I watch most things. I actually wait. I don't a lot of times go on the webinars, because I watch it later at 2-speed.
Yeah.
And there's actually even some study was there saying sometimes you absorb it better when you listen to it faster. Your mind focuses a little bit more. Yeah. So I listen to most things at 2-speed.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got so much training you're trying to get through. You can't. There's not enough hours in the day between what you actually have to work and listen to training. Now, I used to use plugin, but now a lot of times if it's on YouTube, it's built right in there at the bottom, so you can just do it.
Yeah.
And some people like Damon Nelson, I can bump him up to 2.5. I mean, he's well spoken, but he's got the southern, slow talking southern guy. There's nothing wrong with it.
What we gotta do here is.
Yep.
It's like umbrellas on your alcoholic drinks. I love David.
Oh, I know. He's a great guy, like I said. And it's the beauty of it is that he is so clearly spoken, even though it's slow, that when you speed it up, it works. It's like,
I'll have to give that a try.
Oh, no.
When you speed it up, it's normal speed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that's great. That's an awesome idea.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah, no.
Sean just brought something up, and I just wanted to see if I could ask about it, what you would recommend. Since most of my sites haven't been indexed, and they introduced the interlinking now, should I just go back in and wipe everything out and restart it?
No, Nick is going to be putting an update in there that will add the interlinking for already created sites.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's coming out. So don't undo all that work. Let that work sit there and like a fine wine, let it sit there and age.
Okay.
Yeah, and then even once you have them indexed, or they're starting to index, and those links get added in there, it'll be like the pages are being updated. So. It's
okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Good point.
There'll be changes.
Hey, Sean, seeing you on screen, I may have to target the Spanish market now.
Hey, no, I think it's low-hanging fruit. You were part of that group. You saw it. We had results. That's
Isn't that built in?
Now I'm missing out. What video was this?
We were in a mastermind from another group. Then we spun off and made our own little mastermind group. But unfortunately, when you have a lot of chefs in the kitchen, it's hard to get everybody to get everything done.
That's true.
That needs to get done. And now with this tool, you really can be a one-man show a lot easier, to be honest.
It's built in on to DR, right?
Yes, it's built in. This foreign language spinning and all that stuff's built right in.
Yeah.
Don't you have to start it out with the? It doesn't.
No, it doesn't translate. It's not translate. No.
Right. Okay.
So what you would do is go to Fiverr or whatever. There's a couple really good translators. We actually found a translator that worked for the Mexican government on Fiverr and did a great job of translating. So you get him to translate your article, and then it'll be able to spin it inside of Domination Robot for you.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So, but there are some Spanish stuff out there for sure. And that's another way to bring clients, because if you have clients already and they have the ability to speak Spanish, that's some low-hanging fruit to grab them for their local businesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like I'm trying to get my I have a auto repair shop, and they're struggling because they're a small shop and stuff, and they're ready to hire a tech. I'm like, hire a guy that can bilingual, that can speak Spanish, and I can grab you some, some leads, pretty quickly, because you have a guy that's able to take care of that.
Yeah.
Yes, in Florida, yes. So yeah, there's definitely a large Spanish contingent here. I mean, so yeah, I mean, actually, it's like every one of my closest best friends has some Spanish, you have Spanish descent,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's
large thing with the foreign language stuff, and it's built in right there for you. So it doesn't have to be foreign language to a foreign country. It can be foreign language to U.S.
Right.
Especially with Spanish.
Yeah.
Start looking up some of the demographics on that. You'll be quite surprised.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Yeah, you focus on Southern California, Texas, Florida, Arizona, all that. You can pick up a lot of low-hanging fruit if you have something that something you can sell them, or some leads that you can generate for places that can handle them.
Yeah, and the same thing with the paper call with that. You can do
Yep. There are some Spanish paper calls.
Yep, Spanish paper call, and you can really rock them out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. That's awesome.
Yep. Golden nuggets dropping.
Right. Viewers hanging on here. I'm thinking one of them's Brian Wade.
Yeah, he probably has it on in the background. He's off doing his whatever he's doing in the house, and it's.
Well, let me put a suggestion in. Where all the golden stuff is, we'll cut it for Brian.
Yeah, it's a special cut. It's a special edit. Yeah.
Brian Wade edition. You don't get into the nuggets.
What I'll do for that is I'll cut one just for Brian.
Yep,
And
that's
right when it comes to that part, I'll put on reruns of the song "Tiny Dancer" by Elton John, and I'll just have reruns of that song going on and on and on.
Just do a little. It's all the best stuff's at the end of the video, and then the Rick roll. You know?
Oh, that's awesome. Good old Brian. Brian's sitting there. Whatever he does, listen to this. If he makes it all the way through, he's going to wring my neck.
Oh, he's a rebel rouser, and DR, he was so much. It was so funny. Yeah.
Oh, he is so bad. He's always like, "You bad boy, stop it." It's so funny. I love him. Because he always announces whenever we have a new product come out, he's like, "Oh, guys, yeah, you're gonna love this. We've been using it for 3 months." I'm like, Brian, don't do it. I get hate mail. I get hate mail by people, and they're like, "I can't believe that you gave Brian Wade access to it again. I've been with you since day one, and you never give me access." I'm like, I swear, I didn't do it.
And the funny thing is, people fall for it all the time. I mean, every product, he's had it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, and then I get hate mail. Tim probably gets hate mail.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, that's that testing the perception is reality thing right there.
Yes, that's true. That's definitely true. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just had to jump on and shit. I was like, all right, there's a couple nuggets that we were talking about. I'll throw in there.
Man, really, because we're down to 3 lives, so we have 7 spots open, people, for anyone.
Going once, going twice.
7 spots.
Yeah.
Oh, we just bought all 7, so you're out of luck.
You're screwed.
You're number 8, Brian. Oh well.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, the bad part about this is I started this event. We got 10 people in. And I forgot that Hangouts are limited to 10 people.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
My live link, so people are sending messages. Hey, I can't get in.
Yep.
I'm like, sorry. Oh, let me get you the link. You know.
Yeah. I was like, that was what happened. It was. I was very late. It was full, and I was just like, all right, let me put it on in the background, and I was like, those guys are still chatting about it. All right, I'll pop in there.
Yeah, we're definitely going on. What is it? 3 hours now.
Wow. Yeah.
2.5 hours. Mamma mia. Yep. I blame you, Patrick, for this one.
So.
Oh, that's awesome.
What? I think it was an hour and a half ago we said goodbye, right?
Yeah, we were like, I see you later, and everybody's like, oh, okay, I'll leave now. And we're like, okay, the good stuff's coming out. See you later.
Yeah. So, at least you got a tip for it, right? You got
That's some good stuff. I'm gonna go dig into the Zoom info now and see on Brian Wade. Call up his personal cell phone number.
Yeah.
I'm calling you from the webinar, dude. You missed it.
All right. Well, here's one. I don't know. I work with some companies that have WooCommerce.
Yes.
And you cannot get past. There's no way to. There's no phone number in their site. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Their corporate infrastructure is available in there.
Really?
For Woo Themes, yeah, the Woo Theme site.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a big hammer. You need to swing late. But I had a client that was using their products, and they'd started getting some duplicate orders for a small group of them, And they batched their orders on every Saturday, and I'd already been going through and back and forth with this guy, and he said he had a plug-in to fix it, and I'm like, okay, and they were going to do it, and I'm like, I'll do it, just give me the info, and the guy wasn't responding. I'm like, it's going to be tomorrow, and it's going to happen again. So I started sending off bells and whistles. I contacted the development company that developed it, and contacted his phone number because of that.
Wow, that's awesome.
But the squeaky wheel got the grease. I mean, you got to be professional about it. You know, you have to come off really, so you're going to get, come off as a raging, angry client. No,
Yeah.
Well, there's a great site called The Consumerist that deals with consumer issues.
Okay.
And they talk about that, the corporate email bomb and stuff. When corporate support, customer support fails you, this is the method, you follow. And so I've done a lot of consumer stuff, but it can be used for business as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You always want to be really decent, really professional with them, and you get your way. But if you go in there like,
yeah,
you're not going to get anything. You might get a punch in the face. You might have a black eye.
Yeah, like I had a problem with him. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody else chime in. Yeah, like Amazon Prime Day, I had a big issue. They yanked something right out of my cart when I was buying it. I'm like, well, what the heck? I'm like, I put it in my cart, and they're like, oh no, I'm sorry, because it's the items, and then once they sell out, they're gone. I'm like, but it was in the cart. They're like, yeah, it'll do that, and I'm like, oh, well, you need to tell the people the rules of the game before you start playing. Once they're gone, they're gone. Because I would have instantly bought it. I wouldn't have continued shopping. So yeah, I had to play the corporate phone number game with that because I contacted, support, and they just basically wasted a lot of time and said, we're sorry, we can't do anything. And then when I left a bad review about my experience, they said, oh, well, we want to fix it. Click and we'll have us call you. And all they did was loop me back to another person who was basically at the same level. And they wasted another 40 minutes of my time to tell me there's nothing they could do. And I was like, all right, I'm calling corporate now.
And you got to take care of?
They couldn't rebuild because they outsourced it, I found out, to a satisfaction company. So the best they could do for me was give me a $30 gift card, which isn't so bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, it wasn't.
They solved it,
Yeah, at least they did something for me,
Exactly. Yeah.
Instead of telling me, tough luck.
Yeah, it's always great when you get somebody and they say, well, and they don't give you the satisfaction. Say, well, can I talk to your supervisor? And you can tell the supervisor's reading out the same book because it's like verbatim what the other person told you. It's like zombies, And it is. It's terrible. I mean, I went through that with Sam's Club, and finally I got the regional director on the phone.
Yep.
I have his personal phone number now.
Yep. Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I told him, I said, and I had everything logged. I said, I spent 2 hours on the phone, and this is who I talked to. And then the next time I talked, and then I called up and I said, well, they closed the case, but it was never resolved, and somebody got fired over it, which,
Yeah, or they tell you that. I mean, but I
went back to the place and the guy was gone. They told me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I always try and help them because that's what I tell them. I'm like, look, I'm a business person, and I'd want to know that this was going on in my company.
Yeah.
Here's these points of failure. These are their front-facing things. And then, they're doing a great job of helping me. I'm like, well, look, I shouldn't have to go through that to get to this point.
Right.
I'm glad that, this level of support, but you realize how many people don't do that and are going to leave your company or leave a bad taste in their mouth and write horrible reviews about you because of that. And sometimes it's just enough thing of just empowering, them to do something, a coupon, a discount, or even just empathize with people. Because the supervisor, she would have been way more empathetic and, said, I'm very sorry it's happened to you. I'm sorry that they didn't, explain it better. Can I please at least tell me what your experience, what we can do better next time? I might not have went to the corporate level. I might not have taken it that far because, look, I understand that there's only so much power once you go up a ladder on a phone call, but she was just tried the abrupt route, and I was being very nice. I'm like, okay. I couldn't say she was rude because she didn't say anything rude, but definitely abrupt.
Confrontational.
Yes. Yes.
A confrontational type of tone. And,
yeah.
Yeah. Just that causes issues.
Yeah.
When you get the idea that they don't care. That's when it's time. I just keep going up.
Yep, exactly. And it works. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah, you gotta work it. Now, I just saw a comment by BJ about the headline on Consumer. It says, the police and fire departments would appreciate if you didn't call 911 about Pokemon Go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yesterday I was reading the timeline of, my Facebook timeline. I saw one of my friends is a Catholic nun. And she said that this week they were in their convent, and they're in the chapel and they're praying. And she said all of a sudden the doors kind of blew open in the middle of this novena, and in comes all these people. And she was so happy. She went, "Oh, I'm so happy. Full of love of God, and they're coming in to pray with us." I mean, she said like 50 people just converged on their chapel at once. And they came in and they were making all sorts of noise, and so the nuns got up and they asked what's going on, and are you joining us in prayer? And somebody laughed and said, "No, we're looking for Pokemon."
Yeah.
So they were going through their chapel. They were climbing up on statues. They were crawling up on the wall.
Man.
They were trying to get these. The Pokemon apparently was up near the roof, up on this, high. It was insanity. They were dying though. She was laughing about it now, but she said at that moment they had to chase everybody out of the chapel.
Yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to start filing lawsuits about that because I was talking with somebody and they were saying that people were knocking at their door saying, "Oh, can we go through your house?" And because there's a Pokemon in there. I'm like, who wants to put up with that kind of aggravation? I mean, where I live, nobody comes out here, but
yeah, that's when you pull out, Pat. What we were talking about yesterday. This is when you pull out your Desert Eagle 50 cal. You say, "You know what? My Pokemon is a hollow point bullet. I tell you what, I'm gonna fire it, and you go catch the bullet. You go catch that Pokemon."
Now, I saw one that you might be interested in, Mike. It was called Pokemon, and if you look it up on Facebook, it's only about a minute and a half long. I think you'll like it.
That sounds so incredibly wrong.
And if it wouldn't get me in trouble for blasphemy, I would go somewhere else with the nun part of it. Instead of the mom, it would be nun. But I'm not going to be blasphemous because you're on the phone.
I'm about to do a Vade Retrositons, right? Which,
Hey, Sean, what's the cost for the Zoom info?
I don't pay for it. I use the free one.
Okay.
Once you go, you get like I don't know if it's 10 per day. You can look up or 10 per week on the free one.
Nice.
It's a big hammer. You don't want to swing it unless you have to for consumer stuff. And you don't want to swing it for business. And I'm getting feedback. Somebody got. I guess BJ, you got your mic open. And you wouldn't want to do it for business unless you actually had enough leads or something to actually be able to justify calling a CEO of a large company, So you have to think about that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I wonder if, if I look it up, do you think it'll find Pope Francis's private cell phone? Because I'd like to give him a call and complain. Hey, complain. Is this the complaint hotline?
You're going to get excommunicated.
That's okay. I need an exorcism anyways. So I'll make it line up,
Yeah, it's surprising. Like I would definitely say I'm surprised about certain people that you're able to get.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great share, man. Really do appreciate it.
That is awesome. And like you said, you gotta pick your places to use it, though.
Well, yeah, because you're gonna get a one-time shot or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna probably close her down now. But thanks for joining us, Sean. And
thanks for having me.
7 people hanging on. We're going to give it 30 seconds of silence after you leave. Then we're going to start it back up again and talk about really good stuff.
The link's in the chat for the super secret hangout afterwards.
Brian Wheaton need not apply.
It's too funny. Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming in, and we'll have to do this again.
Yep. Have a great weekend, guys.
Talk
All
to you later, Michael. Sean, BJ, talking with you.
All right, bye.
Bye.